Blah, 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 blah. I think I'm gonna go like off psionics and not fully psionics. Like maybe we'll start off with a shield or something. But I think I'm gonna go Arcanaut, because it's been a while since I've done an Arcanaut. Question is... You love this mono-spaced font? I kind of hate this font in this screen. I think it looks much better once you actually get in-game. So apparently where I'm going backpacking over the weekend, it's 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna take Force Bubble. We have 8 points remaining. I think I'm gonna take Psychometry because it's so fucking useful. So Bubble and Psychometry. Then maybe Heightened Quickness and Night Vision. I don't have any attack-based abilities, though. The problem is playing this game in windowed mode actually like breaks this font, which is why it kind of annoys me. Let's take a bunch of points in agility. Real power scores cooldowns of activated abilities, so we want pretty high will. I want some points in toughness so I don't just die. Some points in strength so I do damage. Intelligence, ego is way too low. I'll actually just balance this off down here a little bit. Oopsies. Let's get that 0. Both of those. Let's do that. It's good it's not all pixelated and 8-bitty. The UI design in this game is very good. I prefer the original UI design, but the more modern UI has certainly grown on me. Chat, investments are open, by the way, if you want to invest your tickets. All right, so does anybody want me to export the code to the Discord? A friend of mine's DMing me about backpacking right now. Does anybody want me to export the player code to Discord, or should we just play? Also, as always, if anybody needs me to read stuff a bunch, just let me know. I think we're just going to go with a random character name this time. And I think we're going to start Nyapa again, just because it does make some things easier. So we're going to play Yapa again. Let's see what name we got. You embark for the Caves of Cud. I'm wondering what our name is. On the 18th of Uru-Ut, you arrive in the oasis hamlet of Yapa, along the far rim of the Migori Yi, in the Salt Desert. All around you, moisture farmers tend to groves of Viridian water vine. There are huts, wrought from rock salt and brine stock. On the horizon, Cud's jungles strangle chrome steeples and rusted archways. To the earth, further and beyond, the fabled spindle rises above the fray and pierces the cloud-riven sky. How to explore. Actually, hold up. Bad person. Ah. Nobody saw that. I'm just going to leave town and walk back into town. Nobody saw that. I definitely didn't just cheese an early game quest. Okay? Don't accuse me of crimes that I didn't just commit. Okay? You can't prove that I stole that. They don't know that I stole that. They don't know that I own that, and it's all fine. Okay, back to exploring. Yappa is kind of designed to be cheesed, though. I feel kind of bad, but, you know. In 3 AR, Besef cleansed the marshlands of the plagues of Gyre and taught Abram to sow watervine along its fertile tracks. There's a statue here, and we will read some of the gravestones. The Shrine to Quirkseth's and Logical Spectre. The shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient sultan, Quirkseth. One starry evening, a babe was found swaddled with a digital circuit board in each hand by a group of winged mammals. The circuit-worshipping city-state of Tenna, of winged mammals in the circuit-worshipping city-state of Tenna. They took her into their fold and fostered her, and she became known as Quirthek, the coiled lamb of winged mammals. Good wins to everybody, F's to everybody else. Wonder what I have in my inventory. I got some freeze grenades. All right. Bunch of water. Basic toolkit. Don't have any schematics to build anything just yet. Here lies the body of Shwyshur, stabbed to death by a quartz furious mirror. These are kind of fun because, like, you learn some details. Here rests the body of Kam. Ate too much crushed grave moss. Breathed too much poison gas. Well, that is a very, normal way to die. Like, come on. Very normal way to die. Like, painfully normal way to die. I think that would just... You know. Painfully normal way to die, even for Caves of Cud. Well, let's go get the quests, shall we? Chat, do you guys want me to read all the dialogue or no? Live and drink, Wayfarer. Welcome to the Oasis of Yappa. Here you will find shade and vettle along with other provisions to help you better scour the rust caves for treasure. Above all else, you may drink our fresh water to quench your thirst. Yappa is an oasis hamlet between the eastern reaches of the Great Salt Plains and the jungles of Cud. We are a community of watervine farmers. These groves lie among some of the few tracts of land tame enough to grow watervine. You like when I talk, it's soothing? Noted. What can you tell me about Cud? Cud is a strange and terrifying mesa to the northeast. Her tainted rivers breed life in all of its motley forms, and her poisoned jungles shelter priceless relics of a forgotten past and forgotten beasts. But that is just half of it. Cud's most precious treasures and her most hideous children lie within the innumerable chrome caverns beneath the scarlet loam, to ply the silver hollows, a spry adventurer's dream. Years have wizened me beyond such foolish ambitions, but you be not deterred so. Find it cozy when you read the dialogue, but you're not exactly paying attention. That's fine. And the little Poppins? What, Poppins? I don't know what you're talking about. I think her name was Mary, actually. Is there work to be found here? Moisture farmers are having trouble with cave vermin. Speak with Mahmet, the by the water vine patch. Or you can chat with old Argvi to the southwest corner of the village. He's always looking for some poor fool to help with his contraption. My thanks, Elder. Live and drink. Also, who likes you this time, Elder? Loved by the villagers of Yapa. Hated, admired by the cult of Euryxes for pouring asphalt on their enemies. Oh my god. Hated by the villagers of Nalil for lighting a beacon fire to warn their enemies. And disliked by the villagers of Marva for leading a raiding party into one of their camps. I should kill him, is the reality. Which I could do. Mumbling. Tensile strength and ribs and statistic taken the dynagalously the retro threading man band. Fuck! But with probably. Oh, I didn't notice you there. Obviously, because I was ignoring you. Continues mumbling. Trace sealed, synthetic, licensed, solvent. Sit there in silence and stare. Mumbling. Unexpected deviation from the clack constant clears throat loudly. Must you disturb me? What are you, some sort of treasure hunter? At the very least, make yourself useful and bring me a knick-knack from one of those caves. I may reward you. Where can I find such a cave? There are caves everywhere, you dolt! This is Cud! The Rust Wells are just east of here. But I finished it because I totally legitimately got a knick-knack from the caves, yup. Here, have a knick-knack. You know, I'm just gonna give him my freeze grenades because I want to know what those other ones that I just stole are. It appears you may be useful after all. Now go get me another trinket. Yeah, get you another trinket, you say? Here, have another trinket. You have finished the step of the quest to fetch Argvi another knick-knack, and I've leveled up. Good. Quite impressive, treasure hunter. Maybe you're fit to poke around the workshop here. I've been wanting another apprentice. So unfortunate what happened to Scref, with the disembowelment and all. Take a seat. Now, let me explain. I'm on the cusp of a great discovery. When I'm done assembling the weird wire conduit, you'll be able to speak to anyone from here to the Kaifas. But first, I'm going to need some copper wire, as much as I can find. At least 200 feet should be enough to be able to salvage enough. You may be able to salvage enough from the rust wells in the nearby caves. Of course, we'll accept the quest. Eureka! So I'm now level 2. Which doesn't actually mean much. But do I even have any skills? Not really. I guess I have acrobatics, tinkering, and okay, swift reflexes, short blade expertise. Set up to lay mine. We have scavenger. Grab wilderness lore for the marshes. What? You do not have the skill associated with that flower. Would you like to purchase that skill? Oh, I see. I have make camp, but I can't buy wayfaring. Duh. Always throws me off that you can't do that. And my junk drawer for that quest? Oh, you know, I probably have enough speaker wire to do that. So we've also discovered this. Under a labyrinthine of shade, deep within the earth cleft, there are stretches of the... You know what? Let's see if I can make it up there, just to get the XP. Okay, so we get 250 XP just for showing up. And now it's probably filled with things I don't really want to deal with, so I'm going to grab these books. Because it turns out there's books in here. Books are basically free XP if you know how to gain the XP. Ooh, actually there's a bunch of books. Kill these bats. I'm actually not sure what I'm shooting. I have 42 wooden arrows. Interesting. So that's labeled as impossible to kill for me, which means I need to force bubble and get the fuck out. Oh no, I'm lost. Well, that shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. I'm just doing everything to get XP quickly right now. Actually, I'm using a bronze dagger, which isn't particularly useful. Also, I have a high explosive grenade. Level 3. It gave me what? How much XP did that give me? 25, okay. But that's still a pretty decent chunk. Yeah, I've gained a mutation point. So are you familiar with this game at all? Because if you're not, mutation points are sort of like ability points that you can put onto a tech tree. But the tech tree is random. All right, so the TLDR on what this game is it's kind of like a weird mishmash of, let's just say, Adventure Time, Dune, Alice in Wonderland, also on like some pretty severe drugs. Also, it takes place in the far, far, far future, post-apocalypse. That's Caves of Cut. It's a nightmarishly body horror fueled post-apocalypse drugscape with weird writing. But it's a very, 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 very cool deep game. Yeah, 17 apocalypses later, pretty much. It's a very, very, very cool game. I mean, it's cost me more than over 240 hours of my life, or sorry, over 230 hours of my life, and has overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's fucking phenomenal. I highly recommend it. That's kind of the short version, I guess. And it's got all sorts of fun as hell mechanics in it. But, yeah. Anyway. Let's skulk around. Oh, I took 1 damage from bleeding. It's cool. Bleeding stopped pretty quick. Not generally much of an issue. I'm just kind of exploring. We're probably leveled enough to go do Red Rock, but I don't actually think I have that quest yet. No, I don't. What do I have right now? Just Force Bubble? Rifle through trash? Okay. So all I can do is stab things. But I do get extra hits in because I'm using a dagger. Enemy health down is listed down here, so the enemy is wounded. It's hostile in an average difficulty compared to me. Okay. If we could get like 1 more level up, that would actually be fantastic. Oh shit. Crocodile. Crocodiles are quite tough. Might just sprint away. Because I don't know how much is there. Got a crit on it. It's now wounded. And I got it bleeding. We won. Crocodiles are pretty decent XP, though, so there is that. Okay, we regained our bearings. We're going to head back to Yappa. It's the starting village for this particular run. And we're going to talk with this guy. Live and drink, friend. May you find shade in Yappa. What can you tell me about Yappa? I am in search of work. Some critters are eating our water vine, Farouk claims he saw one slinking around a vine patch. Ugly little thing. It says pale white and it had 8 legs and spiders splitting and an ear-splitting whine. I noticed a bit of red dirt around the water vine pool and the same we find in soil near by a cave to the north we call Red Rock. Travel to Red Rock and kill as many of these critters as you can. And bring back the corpse of one too. Elder Iridad will reward you for your efforts. Oh, another thing about this game, MV Hank. It is a traditional roguelike, so it's a permadeath game. You die, that's your run's over. And it is about, I would say, 15 to 20 hours conservatively to beat it currently. So it's a pretty dense, long run that can be killed in a couple of seconds. We'll do as you ask. You accept the quest. Going to go to a point of interest and run up to the clay oven. We're going to eat some food. 12% natural healing rate. We're going to run up to Red Rock. So we get 50 XP just for showing up. And it's pretty late at night. We're going to whip up a meal real quick. See if we can find the entrance to the Red Rock. This entryway is generally pretty safe. Not usually too dangerous, but there it is. Meeting? Or are you saying meeting done? Found some arrows, which is good. Find a cracked lens. So this character, because I'm a tinkerer, I have the ability to rifle through trash. So whenever I get to trash piles, which are pretty common in this zone, I will like potentially gain loot that I can use as for crafting later down the line. I currently don't have any materials or any recipes rather for crafting, but those are glow cats. I can't pet them, they're not friendly, but they don't attack me. Run around a little bit. So these are gnolls, which are snapjaws. They are swarmers, so they want to stand next to each other, and they do get on-hit bonuses when they are in groups, but they're pretty much pushovers beyond like level 2. Tussock's a fur-dressed skin stretched over taut muscle. Upright he stands, but he looks ready to drop onto 4s. His snout snarls and his ears twitch. He barks and his hyena tribesmen answer. Kill that. And that. And there's a bronze dagger. That was a longsword. I should get those and I should hang on to them. Uh-oh. That guy's got a shoddy. The reason I need to get those and hang on to them is because the rust wells have a tendency to rust your gear. Oh, he's shooting a shotgun at me periodically. So I have an ability called psychrometry, which is very useful. Essentially what it means is I can examine these artifacts, and then I can read their history with psychrometry by hitting I. You abide the memory of a rubber gum injector's creation, and you learn to build rubber gum injectors. Quite literally, if I touch an artifact, I learn how to make it. But bronze doesn't rust. Interesting. But in this world it does. Time dilation grenade. Defoliant grenade. And It's too complex. Well, I have a pump shotgun now. Only 3 shotgun shells. Suboptimal. Oops, actually, can I learn to... Oh, geez. How scary are you? I think I'm going to... Rubber gum injector. Doesn't actually give me any health, though. Eat a witchwood bark. Okay. Probably could have just won that fight, but I didn't want to test it. And a short sword. See if I can, yeah, I can learn to make shotgun shells. Sweet! I now know how to make shotgun shells. Which is... I just need scrap. I need scrap metal bits. And itself preceded by the Neolithic Age, otherwise known as the very early Iron Age? Sure. Can I not deconstruct these yet? Fuck. It's a bummer. Wonder if I have enough skill points to learn to break them down. Tinkering, get... Disassemble, that's what I need, I think. Disassemble scrap and artifacts. Hey! Okay, so now we have disassemble. So now all of these different items have these letterings next to them. That's the material that they're made out of. So I can break down these fractured microchips, these relays, and all that jazz. These burnt capacitors. So now I can't tinker with hostiles nearby. Nearby are these hostiles? There we go. I now have some shotgun shells. Hey, little son. How are you? All right. Now I have 8 shot. Well, that's not much of an improvement. But hey, it's better than no shotgun shells. By the end of here, I should be able to just make a shit ton, though. Whoa! Oof, that hurt. Fucking spikes. Okay. Snapshot Captain. Didn't really do much to its armor. But yeah, the reason there's no cam on this game is just there's too much UI. So I just turn it on periodically. But sup? Any games that have like full screen UI is like, eh. I could put it somewhere, but every menu somewhere is going to break it. And it just looks bad. I'm not a fan. So I've got 3 mutation points and 1 attribute. Let's put a point into agility. And when I get 1 more mutation point, I can buy a new mutation. Jump! You can jump into an unoccupied square with a range of 2. You cannot jump over a square that is occupied by a creature. So it's shitty jump, not good jump, is what you're telling me, game. I can repair items. I think I'm going to do that, because I'm probably going to need to repair my shit after this zone. Found a fractured microchip. Shoot you with the shotgun. We're going to need to make more ammo for the shotgun. Hopefully, we'll get enough ammo by the end of this zone. some tinkering. It's kind of funny. I talk about how I really hate crafting survival games, yet like the thermal grenade MK1. Yet at the same time, plastic tree. I really like the survival, or I guess the crafting in this game, per se. Your average difficulty. Back here and heal back up. Still can't cook because there's hostile creatures nearby. But how's your day been, Lilo-san? What you been up to? Man, it's the hard knock life running around with literally no weapons or armor on. What is that? Aglamoth and the pariah to its people. Bloated puslutes and noxious gas in the abdomen of this writhing, pallid maggot. What happened to my shot? Oh, it's rusted. Go fucking figure. Also, it's friendly with me. That's weird. I can smoke on the hookah. That dog just leveled up. Welcome back. I think that dog got vaporized. Guess I can now chill watching you moving squares on a comp. Oh, hopefully you're feeling okay. At the very least. The heck? I'm picking up all sorts of stuff. Let's repair you. Or equip you. Tinkered up some more shotgun shells. When I accidentally hurt the bird. Not the bird, the bug. The dragonfly. Need to be careful about friendly firing things with the shotgun, because I might aggro something that isn't normally aggro. Generally isn't wise. You know, I feel that, but with fourth monitor. It's like I really need to get my fourth monitor up and running. Cleared the fourth. Okay. So we're about to level. Heal back up. One more bits and pieces. Oh, interesting. What's that? Bizarre contraption. Brain sculpture. A foam plush is arranged into the Gyrian Scully to mimic the brain maze. Metal workbenches. What are you? Flesh with understanding is to engage with understanding of the past of the artifact's past in order to determine it to be a flux gauge. Huh. Look. Four-legged couplings from across form a cross with a wavelength readout at the corner of its liquids, and a gaseous pipe through the flux readings appear in neon strings. Second one is loaded with TeamSpeak and Discord for video chatting with friends and a stream of your 3D printer and my stream. It's loaded with stuff. Yeah, that's a busy monitor. Yeah, honestly, after living with 3 monitors for so long, I don't think I could ever go back to living with 2. And I said that about 2 monitors after a couple of years of, 2 monitors. It's fun like that. Hello, Elkas. I'm playing Cud. This is our, I guess, technically 4th run of the day. We had 2 false starts. And then we had a run that kind of got through some of the early game quests, and then I died. Because I got a little bit too ballsy, which is usually what happens. Ooh. All right. I don't know how much you know about Cud, but if you have questions, feel free to ask. Quite a bit of fresh water. Disassemble stuff. We're also going to figure out what these... Ooh, that's actually a pretty decent thing to have. It's a colossal jackhammer. It's a cudgel, but it's designed for, like, I think breaking through walls. I could be wrong, though. What do we have here? Ooh, stun rods. Learn how to make stun rods. How do you figure out how to play? By playing and looking at the wiki if you need it. I just kind of did it by trial and error. It took me about maybe 20 hours. But the wiki is super helpful if you need, like, assistance. The hardest part about Cud is figuring out the, like, language logic. Once you kind of wrap your head around the language that the game uses, it becomes a lot easier. And of course, you know, learning the hotkeys is a really useful thing. Honestly, I think it's diminishing returns at a point, Smog. I think that 4 monitors is pretty much my limit of what I want. Unless I'm running a 2 PC setup, then 6. But anything more than 6 is ridiculous. So I'd say probably 6 if I had a 2 PC setup. But yeah, no, I mean, I learned how to play this game mostly trial and error. There was only one thing that was like too obtuse that I actually had to look it up on the wiki to get through the game, which was how the fuck do you find the Brathmites? Because they're like 2 levels down and 1 to the north, which, yeah, I couldn't figure out. But I now have a chem cell, so I can learn how to make chem cells. Let's move down. But this is a crafting-based build currently. So if things seem a little bit trickier than usual, that's partially why. The best way to learn how to play Cud, though, jokes aside, is to play a Marauder, get horns, get multiple arms, and equip a lot of axes and smack everything that looks at you funny. Put a lot of points into toughness and strength, and don't worry too much about crafting or thinking. Just break shit, is my advice on how to play Cud. Is just play a really simple, no intelligence required build and just slap stuff with your face. I don't really do that sort of thing. If I have tabs open or windows up, that's like my to-do list. So this is a salve injector. It's a healing injector, and I now know how to make them. Take it. I'm also going to take that. I'm going to learn how to make the grenade and the copper nugget. Yeah, break shit with your forehead. You could also get a beak, too. There are certain... the game also comes with certain, like, default builds now, which is very helpful. And then if you want to go full easy mode for learning the game, which I actually... No judgments. There's a full-on, like, tourist mode called Wanderer, and then there's also a mode where you respawn at the last town that you were at when you die. So if you're just, like... If you want to, like, ease that learning curve off a bunch, you can just do it that way. And that's probably the best way to learn the game now, is just to play with Wander turned on and just talk to things. Learn how the game's language works and how the mechanics work. And then once you understand, like, the game's mechanics, not that difficult. Like, it's just a roguelike, right? Yes, it's bullshit hard, but, like, a lot of that, what the fuck am I doing, kind of goes away a bit. What? I just slipped upstairs. I didn't even know that was possible. A python-sized anthropod undulates forward on hundreds of chittering legs. Also, examine everything, and if it says it's average, you can probably fight it if it's hostile. If it says easy, you can definitely fight it if it's hostile. If it says tough, you might want to run away, and if it says anything that's red, fucking run! And there's a lot of stuff in this game where the first time you see it, the only actual response is fucking run. Like, right now, even. I'm gonna eat some witchwood. Oh yeah, also you start with witchwood bark, which is like a healing item. Does this have a narrative or lore? Huge amounts of narrative and fuck tons of lore. And it's very good. Also, I should be able to kill this. I'm going to toggle sprint on, which is weird because it says off. No, it's not. There you go. Killed it with this shotgun. Your genome enters an excited state, and would you like to spend 4 mutation points to buy a mutation before rapidly mutating? Yes. Teleport other. Corrosive gas. You release a burst of corrosive gas around yourself, which is very helpful. That might actually be what we go for. I don't like photosynthetic skin, because you replenish yourself by absorbing sunlight through your green hardy skin. You bask in the sunlight instead of eating a meal and gain special metabolizing effect for 1 day, plus 30% natural heating rate and 15% quickness. While in the sunlight, you accrue a starch and lichen and lignin that you can use as ingredients in meals to cook, at maximum 1 serving each, plus 200 representation with roots, trees, vines, and the consortium of phyta. That would be really fun, but I need something that is like an offensive weapon. Like I need a weapon, basically. I need a built-in weapon. So I'm thinking that we go with corrosive gas. Also very helpful for eating through walls. And I'm going to rapidly mutated heightened quickness, because running quickly is your biggest strength in a game like this. Oh, also apparently that bug hates me. Oh, I shot it probably. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry about that there. I need a place to cook a meal, so let's just run to the other edge of the map. Uh-oh. Another thing, if you play NetHack, Caves of Cud isn't as kitchen sink as NetHack. It is kitchen sink, but it's not as ridiculous as NetHack in that way. It's ridiculous in its own way, but it's not so much a, like, how does this item interact with this item, unless you're fucking with fluids. Fluids are, like, the one thing where it's like, well, this affects this affects this affects this, etc. Jab. When you wield a short blade in your offhand, you make Offhanded attacks twice as often. This bonus applies to organic hands and natural or mutated, but not robotic hands. Okay, let's grab a jab. I think I have an extra dagger. Yes, I do. I have 3 bronze daggers. Well, that's good. I don't actually need that torch because I have night vision. There's nothing in that chest. So that is a cannibal. He is average. He's wet. Whoops. Apologies. This stout human's bare skin is pallid from years of abstaining from sunlight. His eyes are plased and bestial. Isolation has rendered him more of a beast than a man. But yeah, so this game's narrative, Elkas, every single time you start a run of CUD, it takes this game's book of history and it scrambles it. And it takes all of the major locations and it scrambles it. So every single time you play through, there are certain characters that remain the same from playthrough to playthrough. And there are certain characters that will have their histories changed, their names changed, their locations changed, the way they get about becoming important characters. And if I go into the journal, currently I have almost nothing in here. I know about the Tenna Circuit Quadrangle, one parasang east, which is a location. I know a little bit of Sultan histories. I know one piece of history from this Sultan and one piece of history from this Sultan. Rasef is one of the Sultans who always stays the same. And I know a little bit about Quexereth, which is one starry evening a babe was found swaddled with a digital circuit board in each hand by a group of wrinkled mammals. And they're all written kind of like these weird poems. But as you discover these and these histories, when you actually, kind of spoilers, when you make it to the end of the game, it literally just displays everything from the world in order that you discovered. So if you make it to the end of the game, it basically just goes, this is the history of your version of CUD. This is how your character affected it. This is like the histories of this world, and this is how everything happened, and how you ended up here, and why everything is happening the way it is. And it gives you this big fucking lore dump. It's super fucking awesome, and I'm always a little bit sad whenever I die in this game. Not because I die, but because it's impossible for me to know exactly what I've affected and what I've caused to happen. Every single faction in this game has their own allegiances as well, and there's a lot of them. So there's like antelopes, apes, arachnids, baboons, basically computers, Barathamites, bears, birds, cannibals, cats. I actually managed to become neutral with cats once. And it's really neat just kind of looking at all of these different factions. Like, dogs like you, and aggressive ones won't attack you because dogs like you. Dogs will usually let you pet them, and you are welcome in their holy places. Dogs are interested in trading secrets about the locations and humanoid settlements, and they're also interested in hearing gossip about them, which is a fun piece of dialogue. But all of these different factions have their own allegiances, and you can fuck with them to the point where, I like how Yappa just kind of hates you by default. They don't care about you, but aggressive ones will attack you. But as you go through fucking with these factions, you can actually start like civil wars and things. So you can completely ignore like the story. Why do frogs hate you? A lot of things just hate you. There are builds that I could start with that would make frogs like me. Where are the frogs? Because there's also like humanoid intelligent frogs. But by the time you get there, they usually like you. Frogs dislike you, but docile ones won't attack you. You aren't welcome in their holy places, and frogs are interested in trading secrets. So I wouldn't say they hate me.
Not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends 0.000493688 BTC.
Thank you very much for the $10 and 1 penny in Bitcoin. Cheers, dude. But yeah, no, it's frogs do hate you by default, but it's fine. They don't want to kill you. It's just like the Fellowship of Wardens. They don't care about you, but aggressive members will attack you. The Fellowship of Wardens are like the cops of this world. Interested in Yeah, but interested in locations of insect layers is always funny, you know, naturally. Because they're frogs. Can you cause civil wars? So there was one time I started in a randomly generated town, right? Because I'm playing out of Yappa, which is like the default easy town because it's been a while. But I've played the. Also, check, can I get a round of beers for Hello-san chucking $10 in Bitcoin at me? I've played many runs with the randomly generated towns because you can just pick a zone and it'll generate you a town there, and it'll be like random people in the town with random quests out of that town. It's a little bit more varied, right? There was one time I started in a town and it was full of insects and sentient plants, okay? And I went over to one of the sentient plants who was a warden, basically like the town guard, and I looked at him and he was hated by sentient plants, that type of sentient plant, for killing their young. I did the water ritual with that sentient plant, or with that warden, and then all of the insects in the town murdered all of the sentient plants in the town, just instantly, because my reputation with the other people changed the reputation with the plants and the sentient insects, as so that entire starting village just nullified itself immediately, me included. But it was very entertaining. Let's just make sure. Yeah, okay, I do still. Both of those bronze daggers equipped. God damn, those things are tough. Okay. How many shotgun shells do I have? I'm out. Shit. Let's go make some more shotgun shells. How tough are you? Oh, you're not annoying. Can you pick your race? No, but yes. Yes, but no. Also, does dead come into play? Does your dead come into play with subsequent runs? No, but yes. So there's no bones. So if we're talking like NetHack terms here, you're not gonna get attacked by your former self. There are perks that you can get where you can have a air quotes evil clone of yourself that is an identical clone of yourself that shows up sometimes and tries to kill you. There are also certain skills and things that you can learn that can cause interdimensional time Nazis that show up and try and murder you for being too intelligent. So there's that. As far as race, yes, but no. So you can be one of two things when you start. You can be a mutant, which is what I'm playing, or you can be a truekin. Mutants are basically like mutated humanoid-like beings. They're like the character that you generate doesn't have an assigned gender, and you can make your mutant basically like a spider creature with like 18 like arms by the end of your run and 5 legs and like horns, or you could basically just be like an ape person with like big ape fur and like I don't know, an extra heart. So yes, but no. They're humanoid-ish, human-like, not really a particular race though. Like, you can't just play as a frog, but you could play as a humanoid creature with green skin because you bask in the sun to gain sustenance, and you could have, you could like fart clouds of acid and have a shell, you know? So yes, but no. Then the Truekins are humans with cybernetic implants. So the way you progress as a Truekin is by finding places that have cybernetic implants and computers, because you come from one of the last ecodomes, in air quotes, which are basically like a biodome. And the only way that you mutate and your character grows, the only way that you mutate and your character grows, if you go Truekin, is what's the word I'm looking for here? Is by finding implants and implanting them into your character. Which isn't a straightforward thing, but I don't really like playing them, because I find Truekins to be a little bit random and not in a way that I like, and they're also super overpowered at the beginning, making the beginning of the game less fun. Yeah, also that. Remy guys. I'm having a hard time reading chat for some reason. Character visuals do change to a degree. You keep the same sprite. So you pick your class, right? It's not a race, but it's your class. We're playing a Arcanaut, which is basically like a tinkerer, mechanics-driven kind of intelligence-based class. Yeah, that's the easiest way to put it. It's kind of an intelligence-based class. So that sprite will never change based on what happens, but let's just say I took the perk photosynthetic skin, my character sprite, instead of being white, would be green. So yes, it changes, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't gain more visual limbs or anything. Found a bent metal sheet. I think I have a setting set so that I automatically break down those crafting materials. Good lord. Okay, hold up. I got webbed and almost died immediately. There was a spider web right there. Cannibal. Badly wounded. Let's let him walk up to us and stab him. Also, water is currency in this game. Aside from that, currency is bartering. So pure water is worth its weight in gold, literally. Or bullets. That is a sentient plant that wants to kill me. Here until I heal. Also, investments are open. Anybody would like to invest their tickets? What the hell is that? It's a Brinestock gate. Oh. Knoll. About to not be a knoll. There's no longer a knoll. Now a hole. Let's let them come to me. Also, if things are too zoomed in, you can zoom stuff in. I just really don't like to. Ah. We have Mafoho, the nimble Snapjaw Skull Splitter. So this is a legendary creature. So killing this creature or befriending this creature will change my relation to that faction. So this is Snapjaws. They're evil. I don't really care to be friends with them, and it's really hard to be friends with them. If there is a max character level MV Hank, I've never found it. So I don't think so. Disliked by the villagers of Tumor. Also, this is early game CUD, right? Early game CUD is a lot of like running around and like dueling with people and being very careful. Late game CUD, you walk around with like a cluster missile that can clear an entire map with one hit, and jet boots that launch you across the map instantly, and a hoverboard and a friendly drone that follows you around with a rocket launcher. And maybe a tame goat that follows you, then carries your stuff. Like, early game CUD is like very scrappy. Late game CUD, like, strange tubes can mean a lot of things, right? If you find strange tubes in the wilderness in this game, it might be a folding chair that is useful for breaking down for materials. Strange tubes may also be some sort of pump. Strange tubes might be a piece of piping that you can break down for materials. It might also be a rocket launcher or a jetpack. So this game is, it goes places. It also has nuclear bombs. And the best way to use a nuclear bomb is to set it on a timer, put it on the ground, and fucking run! I'm going to press space and turn on Force Bubble. This is one of my only psionic ability right now, aside from my psychometry, which allows me to very easily identify artifacts. And I'm just shooting shotgun shells at this guy. So I'm now despised by Snapjaws. My reputation with the villagers of Tumor increased by a bunch. Trolls like me a bunch more, which is also good. Cats are now indifferent to me. Would you look at that? Cats are now indifferent about my existence. Which is actually really good, because some cats are really fucking dangerous. Which actually means I think all cats are now indifferent to me. Cats don't care about you, but aggressive ones will attack you. Okay, so aggressive ones will still attack me. Damn it. Ooh. We have, so a reason to auto-explore is painted items can have history on them. Same with engraved items. This item is painted with a scene from the life of the ancient sultan, Quirkseth, who I've found one other thing about. While on a trek in the circuit-worshipping city-state of Tenna, Quirkseth lost control of her chariot and drove it off a cliff. She was killed at 51 years old. So now we have the beginning of this person's life and the end of this person's life. Found some bloody, wet, cracked lenses. Oh, also, shall we talk about mushroom infestations? This game has sentient mushrooms that want to infest your body. They can give you positive and negative effects. Some positive effects can be like maybe the mushroom becomes armor and gives you like a wax shield that just regenerates itself. Also, you can eat the mushrooms as they grow off of you. Some of them make little mouths appear on you and they talk to you and tell you where to go and give you the locations of secret places. And some of them are like, yo, you just bleed a lot. And if you get one of every single mushroom infection, then you get a special achievement called Friend of Fungi, and the mushroom people like you a lot more. Also, this is the only game I've ever played that did such a fucking good job of simulating a mushroom trip. I didn't realize, it took me, I thought that I was sick. Like, there's a point in this, kind of spoilers, there's a point in this game where you have to eat mushrooms to meet a character, right? And that makes you literally trip in-game. UI elements moves and shifts slightly. Things change and letters change slightly. And it's spooky, but also it's one of those things where it's like, this is so well done. The devs must have spent a lot of time on mushrooms to figure out how to make their game accurately represent a mushroom trip. Respect. Sounds like a really bad trip. You see, here's the thing, though. It's a really bad trip, but they're very useful. The one real benefit is they also, like, expel a mucus, which you can bottle and is used in cooking. So, like, you can literally cook the mucus that comes out of the mouths of the blah, blah, blah. You'll be a non-binary mushroom lizard? You can absolutely do that in this game. You could be a non-binary mushroom lizard and convince a frog to be your friend. And then mind control a trader and steal his stuff. It's great. And how do I know it's such a good representation? How do you think? Anyway, painted on this item is a painted scene from the life of the ancient Sultan Recef. In 1BR, the gyre widened, and the final plague afflicted the land of garish Nephalim rose from their candles, and the moon steer that slouched towards Cud to eat its young. Recef rose to meet them in battle and cast them back. An engraved moon mask as well. Man, there's a lot of gear here with stuff from Recef. The nice thing about Recef specifically is there is a character that will give me experience for telling him these stories. In the year 3BR, Rebecca betrayed Recef by stealing the Mark of Death from the gate to the Tomb of the Eaters. This is really important, like, late-game quest shit, too. That's kind of neat. In punishment, Recef excommunicated her from the Sultanate. Scavenger refuses to speak with me. Well, I mean, you do hate me, so I fully blame you there. I'm going to equip that. An extra bronze dagger. And that. And I'm going to take that bow. It's going to increase the value of it. Yep. Smaug. There's also a an achievement in this game for cutting off your own face and eating your face. There's also an achievement in this game for cutting off your face and wearing your face. There's also an achievement in this game for killing a bear and eating the entire bear raw, which I have all of those achievements. Also, another thing that I should show you in case I die. This game has randomly generated books. So this particular one is 5 pages long. But every so often these books have hints in them on how to find specific treasures. So let's just read like the first bit. It is dusk on the 6th day of the 8 clans have dwelled in the moon below. It is fully blown in the sun of the loop fluids. Are too rocky, every particle of matter. We are her eternal breath, a series of his chest. The disturbing thing is that he wouldn't know it unless he had tried. Wait, which part? The mushrooms thing? What's disturbing about eating mushrooms? Mushrooms are good. They make my brain happy. Oh, the face thing? Ah, yes. Well, so, okay, so to be fair, I didn't cut off my own face. A Moghopper cut off my face. Okay? I didn't cut off my own face. Don't you accuse me of cutting off my face. They cut off my face. That was their fault, not my. Bah. But, you know. Semantics, right? You only ate it after? Well, I knew that I could get an achievement, so then I ate it. I also had an Uber Nostrum, so I grew it back minutes later. Which also, Uber Nostrum, maybe one of the coolest names for like a potion in a video game, just period. And Uber Nostrum, yeah. This is not his bottom. But anyway. I don't actually think... I have rubber gum injectors. I don't have any new Uber Nostrum injectors, though. I'm going to repair that. Oh, what floor are we on? Red Rock 4. I'm, like, worried we're not going to be able to make it through. Ah! Well... You finished, Find the Critters of the quest of What's Eating the Water Vine. That is what's eating the water vine. Oh, shooting the wrong fucking thing. Actually going to sprint away from this, because this thing is pretty strong. But I don't want it... So I've picked up the corpse. You finished the step of getting the critter corpse of the quest, What's Eating the Water Vine. Also, it gave me 100 XP. All right, I think I'm just going to Vamos. Because I'm only level 5. We're going to come back here and kill the guy at the bottom after I finish the quest. Is it the potion that drives you home? No, but there are teleportation devices that take you home in this. So we're going to head back to starting town. Quick travel. Actually, hold on a second. Who likes you? Loved by the villagers of Yapa, admired by the cult of Undixies for saving one of their young from drowning. You know what? We're going to do the water ritual with you. You share your water and begin the water ritual. Your reputation with the villagers of Yapa increased by 40 to -40 because they admire Mahmet. Your reputation with the cult of Euryxes increased by 100. I can share his secret with them. While on the trek to the circuit worshipping city, and different people want different secrets shared with them. So this person wants this secret shared with them. While on a trek to the circuit worshipping city of the city-state of Tana, Quirkseth lost control of her chariot and drove off a cliff. She was killed at 51 years old. And that increases my reputation with them even more. And then if I get enough reputation with them, I can learn to make apple mats. I can learn a skill from them. Or if I get a shit ton of reputation with them, I can ask this person to join me. But I found bits of the gnawed water vine and slew a white spiderling. I carry its corpse with me. What a hideous thing! I dread its horrors. Its presence pretends. Bring the corpse to the elder Irdad's hut for the elder to examine. Okay. I returned from Red Rock with the corpse of a pale spiderling elder. Would you examine it? Moon and sun, can it be? My grandfather and his grandfather. This is a Gershling. An infernal creature of plague, but not for a millennium has... Why now? You see, Wayfarer, 1,000 years ago, in the last days of the Sultanate, a series of 7 plagues called Gyre spread through and out of Cud. They were a long slewing punishment for some trespass committed in the soft sludge of Primordium, before even the Sultans reigned. Oh, also something I should throw out, for anybody who enjoys, how do I word this? Queer-themed writing, there's a whole quest line for you in this game. Actually, there's 2. One off the top of my head, but one is missable. The other one is, like, not missable. So, a lot of good representation in this game. A scourge of Gershlings was one of those plagues, but Resef lifted the curse. He cast off his crown and unmade the Sultanate. It makes no sense that the Gershlings would return to eat our crops unless... What dark tiding is this? It was a rabid black-robed figure with the Gershling, which I didn't kill. That was a glow-right, no doubt. Those maniacal fools worship the Gersh and Nephom as gods. The 7th plague, demons born in the moon of Styr, quickened to life for their purpose of eating our young. Resef cast them back before they've returned. Shinrir. Shwyshur, I think is how I should say that. Your discovery is invaluable to us, but we are but poor farmers, and sharpen our vine reapers is all we can do. But there are others outside of Yapa who can do more. Take these prickly boons as thanks. I will not soon forget your service to us. Shwyshur, please, leave me now to muse on this. See, they gave us an Uber Nostrum injector, a weird artifact, and a salve injector, and a salve injector, and a salve injector. So a bunch of healing injectors and an Uber Nostrum injector. The Uber Nostrum is what can regen limbs. So if you, say, have a bad scuff with something that can decapitate and you lose an arm, you know, you can just get that back. All right. And also we level up. And we completed a quest. What's eating the water vine? All right. Also, I can just, like, dump this fucking corpse next to him. There you go. Have a body. Oh, also, cats. I pet Sisyphus. Sisyphus meows. You start to glow. Because it's a cat that makes you... It's phosphorescent. So if you touch phosphorescent creatures, it gives you brief phosphorescence. This game is... It's a thing. I like this game a lot. One star-ribboned night, a ray cat crossed the marshy loam and wandered into Yapa. The watervine farmers, wakened by the joyful cries of a small girl, gathered around to revel at the favorable omen, the axotol and generosity of the beetle moon. Since then, Sisyphus has spent his days curled under the shade of Brinestock huts, and sauntering over dirt paths, so long as he's approached with care, he welcomes the hands of friends and strangers alike. All right. The devs had too much time when making this game? What do you mean by had too much time? I mean, if you want to see what the devs for this game are doing, just follow Unnormal on Twitter. His Twitter is just like a fucking spewing constant stream of consciousness and absolute abject insanity, and I kind of love it. But this game is largely made by 2 people plus some part-timers. Actually, I don't know if they're full-time these days, but it's like 4 or 5 people or so have worked on this game, from what I know. I know that they have like a UI-specific person. They have an artist. They have programmer and a writer. I think the writer also does some programming. And then they have a separate writer who's they've done a bunch of various quest lines for the game. As in made huge descriptions for everything. Everything has a description, and it's all written like CUD text. And so I have acquired a Fix-It spray foam. All right, so you think this is dense dialogue, eh? Have I grabbed the other quest? Yes, okay, so I need 200 feet of copper wire. But before I do that, we're actually going to try and make a mad dash across the deserts. Man, I don't have enough intelligence to get across the salt dunes. I can do this with the... I can get safe passage over the hills and mountains. Not quite. Never mind. But glow dims. The glow dims until extinguished. Yeah, that's the... Some ruins nearby. No, I would not like to explore. Ah, fuck it. I'll say yes to explore and then just jump out. Do you gain stats? This game uses a tabletop system that's similar to Gamma World, which is what it was originally based on. And we've discovered the semicircle, Urvesh's semicircle. Actually seems kind of empty. But if I go to my character sheet, this is my character sheet. So you can gain attribute points per level. You gain skill points per level, which is what you use to fill out this tech tree. These are all different ability trees that have different sub-categories to them. It's a bit obtuse to look at, but it makes quite a bit of sense once you fiddle it with it for a few minutes. So the golden ones are things that I've started to unlock. The red ones are things I haven't unlocked yet. So you spend skill points on those. And then you also gain mutation points. Every 4 mutation points, you can buy a new mutation. Currently, I have heightened quickness, night vision, force bubble, psychometry, and corrosive gas generation. I can just spew out corrosive gas. And I can also level them up with individual mutation points. So if I'm happy with the mutations I have, I can then put points into these to just make them better using mutation points, or I can wait till I have 4 mutation points to level those up faster. So that's kind of like my abilities tree, and then over on the left are my stats, essentially. Definitely a bit of getting used to, although the tabletop RPG helps. Yeah, if you have some experience with tabletop RPGs, this game's kind of a breeze. Okay, so this area seems pretty clear. It's ruins. Also, speaking of the text descriptions, Watervine. Salt gathers in its furrows, and it's knotted with moisture-swollen wafers in place of leaves. And a pool of liquid. Grams of asphalt. Remember I was talking earlier about liquid asphalt? This stuff's real fun if you set it on fire. Adds simple stability-based effects to cooked meals. Can be good for you. Don't drink it raw. There's also chests everywhere. So we're just auto-exploring right now, so character's going to automatically run from location to location, and they'll stop when they see an enemy. The shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient Sultan Irium. This is all randomly generated from Underrun. While wandering around the Inkwell, worshipping Republic of Kimwarkru, Irium discovered the Tavarpur Hollow, and there he befriended robots and set out to make an adventure to find a sacred astrolabe. And we've discovered the location of Inkwell Quad, whatever that is. Probably a town, I would guess. Ah, the Canticles Chromatic Verses. So there's also books in this game that are pre-written, and this is one of them. The ones with the yellow titles are pre-written. Ooh, what is this? Excellent. You flush with understanding the artifact's past in order to determine that strange tubes are in fact not strange tubes, but a missile launcher. I need ammunition for it, but I just found a rocket launcher. Excellent. Fantastic. Can I learn how to make it? This artifact is too complex for you to decipher a method of construction. God damn it. I have a rocket launcher, though. I could donate it to the church. Just Caves of Cud, you know. Totally normal Cud things. Yeah, absolutely, Speaking of, there's a tennis circuit quadrangle. This is that location that I just discovered upon reading the history of that sultan. We've discovered a lair. Let's jump into it and then immediately jump out of it, probably. You discover the lair of Fenu Solsrioth, the legendary mechanimist pilgrim. I think these guys might actually be friendly to me. Nope, they're not friendly. I will force bubble and get outie, because shit was exploding over there already. All right, so this is not a town. Is that blood on the ground? Yes. There's rivers of blood here. Seems fine. What kind of corpse is that? Bloody Equimax corpse, so a horse creature? I do have Force Bubble on, so I do have like a free, like, get out of jail free card here. If there's something bad, I can escape pretty quick. I cannot light the remains of that campfire because it's in water. I'm sorry, what? Oh. Huh. So that could kill me fucking immediately if I touched it. In fact, I might just leave. We'll go back there later. We're lost. In the forest, there's a bunch of Arglogots right there. I want to leave. It requires mental stability, which is something that certain enemy types can take away from me. And it requires a cooldown. It's also not very... I can't fast travel out of it using it. Church of St. Javelin. God, I wish. It's not used... I can't get out of jail unless I'm above ground. If I'm below ground, I can't fast travel. Basically, what it does is it isolates me long enough that my character can, air quotes, fast travel out. Almost an exploit, but not quite. This game also has an ability that's literally a save scum, too. It's only like 30 turns, but we discover Harchimish. Another set of ruins. So this is totally fine, aside from the fact that there's a literal dragon over there. 2 of them, in fact. Pretty good for XP, but they hurt, and they shoot fire really far, so let's try not to aggro them and go get this chest. Ooh, a thermal grenade. I now know how to make them. Let's get outie. We spotted Dromad Caravan. So these are basically traders. They're friendly. Means I have some things I could probably sell them. I could sell them my missile launcher. Do you have any? Oh, hey, they have a lacquered missile launcher. They have a fancy missile launcher. Well, I can sell them this painted short bow. Two-handed longsword. I can sell them the jackhammer because it's just heavy. 2 staffs, the steel battle axe, longsword. Don't need these because I can see in the dark. Billionaire, thanks for the raid. Were you doing Anvil again? That's what it says here. But thank you very much for the raid. Guys, if you don't know Billionaire, he's a lovely Finnish lad. He's part of my stream team. Plays various video games of the variety sense. Shows up on my podcast sometimes. And he's a fantastic dude. go give him a follow. Thanks so much for the raid, man. We're digging around in cuds, so it's nonsensical absurdity that nobody understands. How's the new season versus the previous stuff? Really want that small stone. Problem is I don't really have enough drams to buy it. I think I'm gonna buy those lead slugs. Bandage. I'm gonna take those, and then the 2 drams of cider, which is useful. Well, actually, no. Not all of those. Two drams of cider, which is going to even out this a bunch. Cider is useful for medical things. Also, this horn slaps. But we made it to the silt. This is like the big bazaar. The neat thing about this zone is you get kind of an idea of how ridiculous this game is, because this is where everybody is neutral. So, and also another thing about the bubbles and the psionic abilities in general, they're generally very powerful. But if you level up psionic abilities and have too many psionic abilities, let's just say that the intergalactic time Nazis discover that you exist and then will randomly phase into existence in front of you and try to fucking murder you out of nowhere. But sometimes they drop special tinctures that have a valuable resource in it that can permanently upgrade your stats. So that's pretty good. So essentially, if you use that shit too often, you become like a brain beacon and people know where to find you, which is fun. Kind of feels like a solo player adventure version of RimWorld. If RimWorld was actually interesting, the RimWorld's lore is so thin and dull. Like, not really, but I guess so. This game is very much, it's the closest thing that we'll ever get to a unique version of something like Dune. It's like, I describe this game as Alice in Wonderland meets Dune meets Adventure Time in a Gamma World run that, you know, wants to eat your face. And maybe you too. RimWorld has lore? Question mark? Yeah, pretty much, right? All right, let's go here. So this is Tazifer, disciple of the coiled lamb. Peace and health in the light of the star pilgrim. Brood with me on the life of Resef if you are willing. So this is the person who I can give secrets to, but because there's some new people here who haven't seen this game before. Who is Resef? A spiritual patron of kith and kin, who did so much for us, and who leads me and others like me to the path of healing. For all, above all, he was a healer, and dressed the wounds of the sick, and rid the land of plagues of Gyre. He was also a sultan, but he was the last sultan. He unbricked the walls of the monocracy, and so that we could pick berries in the orchards that they hid. I have more to ask. What's inside this tent? A quiet shrine to the coiled lamb, centuries old, tucked away there. Outside of the marble, a pair of pets, and the cloaked in the dusts of time. It is lost to those who sneer at the veneration of Resef over other fathers. Step inside and voice a prayer if you are willing. Live and drink, priest. So now we can sneak in here. And we can look at the statue. We could desecrate the statue. We could attack the statue, which would be unwise. We're going to look. A shrine to Resef in 6 AR. Resef, the above, ghost in Carillion, the coiled lamb of Beetles, died of natural causes. He was 216 years old. What's up, nudist nun? How thing? And then I'm going to tell them that we're willing to share secrets. So these are all of my secrets that we have acquired. You muse over the secret and gain some insight. 250 XP! You muse over the secret and gain some insight. 500 XP! and we level up. You muse over the secret and gain some insight. 1,000 XP. And you muse over the secret and gain some more insight. And we gain 2,000 XP. And we level up again. This area is pretty great. So now we have 3 mutation points and 174 skill points. I could put some points into tinkering, but like I don't actually gain all that much currently out of that. Bloodletter. Your short blade attacks that penetrate have a 75% chance to cause your opponent to bleed. 0 to 1 damage per turn. Toughness save. Difficulty plus 2 plus your agility modifier. This opponent's saves to stop bleeding each round, and the save difficulty decreases by 1 each round. This effect can stack a number of times equal to +1 your agility modifier. Yes, please. Bloodletter. We are now a bloodletter. So there's one other thing that I can do in this zone before I go shopping. So remember how I said that I could give a rocket launcher to the church? One thing that's very important to know, all priests sell bullets in this game. The preacher says, "Has Rome the caves of Cod burdened by guilt and complexity?" I've killed him before. Accidentally, admittedly. Well, I didn't kill him. My friend who was following me did. He's disliked by the Farmers Guild for worshipping a highly entropic being, and admired by the Merchants Guild for telling bawdy jokes. A high priest of the Silt. So I can dump shit in here and gain reputation. I'm curious about how much I get for throwing a missile launcher. I get 49 reputation for throwing a missile launcher in there? 49! Hey, church, you want a rocket launcher? It's fucking fantastic. They naturally want the rocket launcher. Well, you throw the missile launcher down the sacred well. And I get a bunch of reputation with the mechanimists. The other thing we're going to do here, before I read some stuff, is I'm going to go talk to the librarian. And it's always a random character that's the librarian. And in this case, it's a narthex, which I think is a cat. No, it's a feral dog. Sorry. Sheba. I don't know if you heard that, but I just physically facepalmed. Fuck this game. So Sheba, Hedegast, the feral dog, is a librarian. (1d6 plus 14). It was 1d6 plus 14. So, yes, that's a lot of damage. Also, it does splash damage, which is, yes, also a lot of damage. But it's limited on the amount of ammo that you can fire. But if you can craft ammo for it, it's fine. In the narthex of Silt, cloistered beneath a marble arch, close to her argent fathers, she muses over a tattered codex. She's safe here, but it wasn't always that way. As a youngling, her own kind understood her little. Only when she was gifted a copy of the Canticles Chromatic did she learn the comfort or mirth for a reason. Her journey to the Silt took several years, but now she's here. Sheba seeks the consulate and all the learning of the ages, tucked away in Cud's innumerable chrome nooks. Here she prepares a residence where pilgrims can study the wisdom of others and bring themselves nearer to the divinity of the Casphorescence. Yeah, it is also splash damage. Live and learn, Wanderer. Have you come across any books lately in your travels, Bork? Do you care to donate one to the Cathedral Library, Bark? Whenever you return, you may speak to me and read anything you've donated. Bark. So now I can donate books to this person. I'm going to keep my copy of Canticles Chromatic because it's only 100 XP. Ashiba provides some insightful commentary on our first edition, unified farmsteads and mining settlements, and his death in 38 PP when his. And with inert hearts. And we gain 1,946 XP because our pooch friendy here knows a bunch about these books. And so I can ask where's the library, talk to them more specifically. I can also trade with them. Of course, they're wearing spectacles because they're a fucking librarian. And run around. Auto explore. So this is a graffitied concrete wall, a solid block of sturdy concrete. Graffiti is scrolled across the surface, and it reads, I had hoped... Disciple? Huh. I love just the graffiti inside of the church. It's kind of fitting. You know, this is just me complaining about people for a second, but every now and again, someone will tell me in a YouTube comment or in the Twitch chat or something that they think that this game's ugly. Can I just say how sad it is that some people can't appreciate art? Snails in the coral were crushed in the geolithic press, painted into ribbons of impurity, and polished along the ideal plane. Graffiti is scrawled across the surface, and it reads, Don't heal the tale of Pateau. 2. The boy fought the Lord. Something molecules. So it's okay, some people don't know. Some people just need games to look like The Last of Us for them to appreciate beauty. Protector of the Silt. Live and drink, friend. What is it? Says that guy. Okay. Can you change colors? Not that I know of? Maybe? I've never looked into it. But this game actually has a whole separate UI in it as well, which I actually prefer. I'm just using this UI because I just kind of want to get used to it. This is the classic UI, which I like a lot more. And I think fits the game a lot better, but... But the UI is pretty fucking customizable. Hey, Panderific. All games made in all years throughout history must look like Unreal Engine 5 tech demos. Blah! Yeah, exactly. A chest hole tile set? That is a distressing sentence to read. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's an alternative tile set. But yeah, it's pretty customizable. I don't know about custom colors, though. I love how there's just a friendly machine turret over here who I can talk to. The rocket turret and mechanimist convert. The turret says, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, glory to Shekinah. And I can trade with it. He's got a lot of bullets, probably. I'm assuming that's what those are? Or no, probably rockets, actually, because this is a rocket turret. If there was a Commodore theme or something like that. You can turn the tile set off. Don't know where that setting is. Hold on. Support devices, pre-release, use overlay and touch. I don't know where it is in here, but there is color player based on at HP level. Ignore all status colors on a space. Display the ability icons. Display pop-up. Display background image for letterboxing. The tiles? Did I miss it? Oh, yeah, there it is. Duh. Yeah, so you could play it like this if you want. Well, and also, I think that this font work and the look of this is beautiful. I'm just a little @ symbol over there. So if you want to play it in full ASCII, you can do that. I played the free version of this game eons ago. That was ASCII. It does look great. I play with the tiles on because honestly, I think the tiles in this game just look fucking beautiful. It's literally that simple. But yeah, if you like ASCII, you can absolutely play it in ASCII. Apothecary, there you are. Buy all that witchwood bark off you. They have a nice texture. They're just really soft looking. I like the look of them. They just look nice. So I just bought a bunch of witchwood bark off of them, which is basically a healing potion. Spot a dromad caravan. That's really useful, actually. Let's go to the dromad trader. He's moving. God dang it. So dromad caravans are randomly scattered throughout the world. The beauty of the dromad caravans is if you encounter one at random, and they're not normally here, if you encounter one, they usually have higher grade gear. So let's just take a peek. Got plastifer stuff. Folded carbide dagger. That's a really good dagger. That's a huge upgrade compared to what I've got currently. I'm going to trade. See if I can trade for this, even if I have to sell all of my grenades. I don't think I have enough money for this. It's unfortunate. No, I don't. Dang it. It's the wine dealer. Also got cheese. I'm gonna follow him. He just like walked through a thing that made him bleed. Not badly, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to kill them even if I wanted to. Well, it's a good dagger, but it's not that good. It's kind of fun. Oops. Let's go to the apple farmer. It's not generally worth buying stuff from the apple farmer. Although if I go down here, let's go to the clay oven. We can get ourselves some food. The character's hungry. They have honeyed shawarma and hot and spiny. Eat honeyed shawarma. Start to metabolize the meal and gain the following effect for the rest of the day. You only get ill 1/10 of the usual length of time. There's a chef. You have, oh man, sometimes oh no, he does. So this chef has searing it, the experiment it. Essentially, this is a green book. Green books are basically a recipe or skill. You read it, you learn the recipe, and then you can read the flavor text if you want. but it just basically teaches you a skill. Let's explore this side. Another apothecary. The only reason I can see right now is because this character can see in the dark. This is the gun dealer. He's got muskets. Special nap. I mean, didn't you say you were going to go nap for an hour? But more than an hour. Like, significantly more than an hour. I might be making that up, but I seem to recall you saying I'm gonna go nap for an hour. And I think that was at like 10 a.m. my time. That's now 3. That's okay, you probably needed it. Another crazed... preacher. We noted another Dromad caravan. 2? What do you have? You have a gold-flecked tube? Ooh. Folded carbide longsword. Salvage. Oh, nothing super fancy. And this is a hookah. Hitting the hookah does absolutely nothing, but makes smoke appear. But you can sit there and hit the hookah all day. You might be very high then, you feel fuzzy. Yeah, I know the feeling. I recommend water. Ooh, a painted glass bottle. In 5609 BR, Eudoxes won a decisive victory against the combined forces of the journal-worshipping autocracy of Shapapia at the bloody battle of the hamlet of Dakish, though she lost her prized Miniaturicus during the course of the conflict as a result of the battle in the hamlet of Dakish. So she was so devastated by smoldering stardust that it was renamed to the White Hot Flats. I now know the location and have a quest to recover that item. What would the hookah do? I don't know. Give you a brain fog? Or brain high, I guess? Head rush? Not a bad way to spend a day. One of my favorite activities in this game is to just sit in a corner and like smoke a hookah and read a book, which is a legitimate thing that you can do in this. That's a lot of turrets right there. It's really funny when like this area starts to attack each other, which happens sometimes. It's like absolute fucking carnage. There's been times before I've walked into this zone and everybody's dead. It's not supposed to happen, but it's really funny when it does. Also kind of looking for a bookseller. Do I have a strategy for newbies trying to play? Play a Marauder, get horns, and play on the mode where you can respawn at the nearest town and whack your head against things. Basically, just make yourself into a meaty minotaur with no intelligence. Put all of your points into strength and toughness, so you have lots of strength and lots of HP, and get like regeneration and multiple limbs and heightened quickness, and then just smack things. That's like the easiest, most straightforward build. And then just start at Yappa and follow the quest lines. Also, if you don't like the monkeys at Red Rock that are kind of a pain in the ass if you don't know how to get around them. If you don't like the monkeys, just take thick fur, and then you don't have to worry about them. Yes, I said get multiple limbs. It's one of the possible mutations. There's an achievement in this game. Well, it's less Hulk smash and more the guy with 4 arms from Street Fighter. What was that? What was his name? Goro. Yeah, that was his name. Goro Smash. There you go. It's been a while since I played a Street Fighter. But yes, you could play a non-binary reptilian Goro and Hulk smash your way through the world in this game. Welcome to CUD. You can live your true fantasies of being Goro. Is he in Mortal Kombat? Or is he in Street Fighter? I don't know. I'm not a fighting game person. Don't ask me. I just play the panda in Tekken. That's all I truly know. Also, sorry for all your tickets, Pablo. All right, well, I think that's pretty much everything I can do there. So now I know another location, which I definitely can't make it to just yet, which is this. Inkweld. The Eaters of the extolled divine nature of the Inkwells, in moldered republic of those whose ruins lie entombed in sarcophaguses of circuitry. Let's, run all the way across. Yay, we didn't get lost. Okay. Hey, I discover a village. Of course I would like to investigate. We discovered the location of Sharbval. So I could just walk, by the way. Each of these individual tiles is 6 by 6 generated tiles. So, sorry, no, not 6. 3 by 3 generated tiles. So each of these large squares that I move through to get across the world is a 3 by 3 set of randomly generated tiles. I could just walk, but it's faster to fast travel, obviously. And you have a % chance to discover interesting things as you encounter them. But we've just discovered another town, which will probably give me another quest. And we found a woven basket here, with a basket woven from marsh reed. And on it is a piece of history from this village. And it says, "No lure shall be honored in Sharbval without lifting a canteen of salt and proposing a toast to the smoldered mushroom." I guess they worship mushrooms? Before the first soldier, and here's a different piece of information on an alchemist's table. Before the first soldier roamed Cud, the first day of summer, Shwyshur founded Sharbval with a smoldered mushroom in each hand. From that day forth, the villagers were known as the people of the smoldered mushroom. They are the people of the smoldered mushroom. Jesus. And some information on a four-poster bed about Korseth, who's a sultan that I've learned a bit about already. In 3178 BR, Korseth won a decisive victory against the combined forces of Hamrish at the bloody battle of Davamanu Tangle, though she lost her prized rapture of the join Bargsant during the course of the conflict as a result of the battle of Davamu Tangle, was so rifle with the electric arcs that it was renamed the Wired Badland. Plus 45 reputation with the logical specter of kinfolk engraved on this object is an image is a scene with the life of the village of Sharbval. No lure shall be honored, which we already saw. Okay, wow. I know where Hamish is now. And I have a quest to visit that and recover the Rapture Join Bears Grant. Rapture Join Bears Grant. I hopefully you guys can understand that I don't play a lot of fighting games. Painted on this item is an image with the scene of life from the ancient Sultan Su Zerdates. This is new. In 5357 BR, Su Zerdates laid waste to all of Samu, stealing oil from the heat lamps in the villages of baboons and the villagers of Ezra. He became known as the Bane of Samu. I know all those places because I've played enough CUD. This place also, this town that I'm in, seems to be populated by human-like farmers and intelligent crocodiles, which is why there's white crocodiles everywhere. So we get to go talk with a crocodile. Maybe get a quest from a crocodile. Elomo the Wise. Where's Elomino? I need Elomino to tune in because this is almost Elomino's name. So yeah, we're gonna go get a quest from a crocodile, probably. Nomad, welcome to the village of Sharbval. We are a society who love a smoldered mushroom and dishonor those who mock the smoldered mushrooms. Per our custom, you may drink of our fresh water to quench your thirst. Live and drink. Hey, audio, what up? Do I want to share water with you?
This is madness. Madness. This is
It's suddenly all mods tune in o'clock, apparently.
Yeet.
Almost no scope banned blind from his own Discord? What did I do? I don't think you can you? I mean, please don't. That'd be mean. Why? How did you almost no scope ban me? Oh, because I posted the right. Gotcha. I see. The CUD code does look like spam. I mean, I wouldn't have blamed you, frankly. Anyway. Hi, Hobo. How are you? Chat, you gotta hide the mods, because... or hide the memes because the mods have shown up. Oh, okay. You can't ban me, but you can delete the message. That makes sense. First day back at gym? What are arms? Pain, probably. I'm going to, share some water, or, oh, damn it. Their water rituals are salt. Bastet is, I think, the dedicated current stone. Also, chat, I think we're going to be starting stream an hour early tomorrow. Can you get a quest from the legendary Croc, or is he just like the town guard? If there is a legendary purple Croc, I can get a quest. But I think I'm about to get a Croc. I'm about to get a quest from this crocodile named Elmo the Wise. But no. Unfortunately... Wait, hold on a second. I smile on the illusionary unk that you are here, traveler. There is a stint that you could do for me. A while ago, I traveled to the workshop of Shwyshur, the legendary gem cutter, and lost a godly smoldered mushroom. For my own collection, I want it. I am willing to reward you for your services and recover it for me. So I have to go find their smoldered mushroom, which is being held by the legendary gem cutter, which is actually two really good things to find all at once. So, absolutely, I will go find her. So I'm now doing a quest for a crocodile mare, by the way. Sweet. Let's go find this. Unless it's like at the other side of the. If it's at the other side of the map, then maybe not. Wow, that is a dangerous area for that location. All right, so, okay, so I just have to locate it. They don't tell me where it is. That's not fair. Usually they're just like, it's here, but they haven't told me. Where's Hamish? A dangerous location for that to be. All right, so I just have to locate it myself then. Let's go to Quiapton, the legendary Croc, and see if they have a quest. Nope. Just has a smoldered mushroom to sell. All right, you. I need some salt. Wondering. I'm sorry, what are you? They're leafy lobes, flush and dampen with liquid. Huh. I don't know what this thing is. Oh my god, it's a fucking... It's an asphalt mushroom? Huh. Okay. Sure. The guard of this town is a mushroom that spews out asphalt. That sounds not optimal, Hobo. I'm not entirely... Eh, fuck it. I'm gonna open this. Not worth it. Alright, well. Okay, I can still escape. Okay. Let's, oh, shit. Go get lost, I guess. Discover the location of Green Uva. We discovered some ruins, but... So we're going to clear these ruins, and then we're going to head to the Rust Wells to go complete another quest. So this is some history for Irudium. In 4738 BR, Irudium the Compass in Saratrus died of natural causes. He was 92 years old. Let's leave that. Found some construction materials, and I can't cook with hostiles nearby. Alright, well, let's do that. And then whip up a meal real quick. I found an engraved sooty smock, which also has some images of the tales of Iridium on it. Yeah, it's like a sarcastic pog. In 4812 BR, a corrupt administrator was appointed to the minister of the quill-worshipping autocracy of Sesh. I'd love to have a Sesh at the autocracy of Sesh, chat. Wouldn't you? He outlawed the association with tortoises, and Iridim forced him to flee. Also, Hobo, I would like you to know, the librarian in this playthrough is a stray dog named Sheba. It's also late at night, so it's super dark. Can't really see much. Oh, I have no more ammo for my shotgun? God damn it. Hold up. Just gonna real quick whip up some shoddy shells here. Never mind, can't. Let's release some corrosive gas. The best part about releasing corrosive gas is you gain immunity to corrosive gas? That was a weird sound. Yes, but it's also, like, funny, because it's also a meme. Two-handed iron longsword. Found a metal sheet. Let's heal. Rifling through trash, running around. Found more money. There's crows everywhere. I mean, you know about Doge memes, right? It's just funny that the dog's name is Shiba. I think it's funny. Oh, I'm lost. Brilliant. I missed the part where I was lost. Ah, we regain our bearings. And I discover the lair of Kolgslebush, the legendary Quidzu. Ooh. We could clear this. So level up. Because something just leveled up. Holy shit. Fortunately, You are friends with me. This guy here, this blood-salted trash monk, damn near killed me with his boom rose arrows. They're basically like grenade arrows. And he fired them right past me and hit me with one. Oh, shit. There's just a wild nomad with nothing to trade. Fortunately, that guy's out of boom rose arrows now. Okay. Let's just kill these. Which is a tiger in The Simpsons. Yeah, no, see, I wouldn't understand that reference because I know like nothing about The Simpsons. Arcanaut. Got a muddy tube. Can I look at that? Fortunately, no. Oof. Just move over here and heal. Because you can just wait to heal, like most roguelikes. Yikes. I'm gonna turn on my force field and leave. Back up. It's pretty fitting that it completely random names was. I mean, the dogs probably have like a pool of names that they pull from. We just happened to get a funny one. And it's not too uncommon that you happen to get funny ones because the names tend to be fitting in this game. You know, whenever I post a image on Reddit with Stone Sense, what I'm referencing is this. It's really funny how many people don't actually know what Stone Sense is. People are like, what is that? Like they've never seen it before. It's just kind of strange to me. Why a dog would be called Shiba, it was just a disconnect with your brain. Much wow. Yes, naturally. Yeah, you have a fun time snuggling, Jeff. Cheers, Bastet. Take care of yourself, yeah. Hopefully your week improves. All right. So many of these things. These seed-spitting plants just do a ton of damage. The kind of fun thing about these seed-splitting plants, though, is if you decapitate them, you can actually equip their seed spitters, and they, like, it's like a portable gun that gets loaded with sap, which is kind of rad. I mean, it's not going to be isometric. I mean, you know what DF's going to look like on release. Just go look at all of the screenshots that are released. The thing about that is it's more of a 3D renderer. It's not, like, playable. Like, you really can't play the game in Stone Sense. It's like an external renderer. It takes all the information drawn and basically just renders it in real time. It also makes the game run very slowly. There's also a video on my YouTube channel with way more screenshots of that. You want to see the rest of them. Literally just looking for location. Am I? Okay, let's just screw that. So now we're at Red Rock. And there's fucking monkeys everywhere. Fortunately, this monkey is getting fought with by a goat. Get him, goat! I can trade with the goat. The goat doesn't have anything to trade, but it does say ba. Because of course it does, it's a goat. The thing about like those external renderers is while some of them look really cool, you need to remember that the game is not playable with them running. If you're running at like 40, 50 frames a second, maybe like an hour and a half. But long death currently about 4 hours because it's running at about 30 to 40 frames. Or rather, if you're running at 60 frames a second, about an hour and a half. Assuming you're not pausing. I need to find wires, which are accessible down here, these things. I need to find 200 feet. And I need to get out of here as quick as possible because my stuff's gonna rust. All of the enemies in this area just break your gear. Let's make a real quick meal. Rummaging around your surroundings, you find some ingredients: a quillipede quill, some kind of skunk hair, and a mushroom cap. And I eat them. It really is, yeah. I mean, I've been running it since August 2020, so it's getting close to 2 years old. Yeah, there's a playlist on YouTube, and it's linked in the description of the video I uploaded this morning. It's also linked on like the main page of my YouTube channel. Every single VOD is public, and you can also download the save file if you want. Although I doubt it will be compatible with the premium version. Oh. The dog over there fighting with the wall. Hey, shoutouts to these dogs. All right. Let's do that and that. But yeah, when it comes to the release, I really wish that it's actually a pretty rare drop. I just found water on the ground, fresh water nonetheless. Something that really kind of bothers me about parts of the Dwarf Fortress community, or maybe not parts of the Dwarf, I don't know if I necessarily say that they're part of the community, but those people who don't play Dwarf Fortress that just get ridiculously mad and uptight about the fact that it's still gonna look old and be Dwarf Fortress, i.e. it's not gonna run perfectly. Like, I've had some people in comments say some pretty fucking mean things about Zach and Tarn, like, and their inability to code and various other dumb things like that. It just kind of makes me sad, in a way. Yep, very moddable. Am I running any mods? No, I don't play this game frequently enough to run any mods. A booster gun? The fuck's a booster gun? It's a small crossbow with a wide barrel to hold darts. All right. I'm going to equip one of those bronze daggers. Left hand. Go down. Like, not to gatekeep or anything. I think some people just need to learn that some games might just not be for you, and that's fine. You now have 111 feet of copper wire. You have a good night, Estet. Just sleep. You'll be fine. Things will get better. Oh no. I upset that dog, so I had to kill the dog. I accidentally shot it with a shotgun. That's salt. Slimy salt, damn it. If I can find some plain salt. I can do a water ritual with those crocodiles. I'm one example of a person who's hyped but also patiently waiting for DF on Steam so you can try it again to get into it. I mean, I think it's just going to show everybody just how not difficult the game actually is. It really isn't difficult. Especially if you have experience with other games like it. So many games have taken so many ideas from it that, like, aside from the things that make Dwarf Fortress cool, like, there are games that do more or less the exact same thing. Quite effectively. Sap. Shoot you. You're friendly. Reload this and just shoot you. Oh, out of ammo. Salty, slimy salt. Gah. Just need plain salt. Not diluted salt. No, I understand. I mean, that's even better then. That just means that you'll be able to get into it then, probably. But regardless, they're into the bug fixing phase for Steam Dwarf Fortress. And just the polishing up the final bits of UI phase. So, if you're patiently waiting, your wait is getting damn close to done. I obviously, you know, can't give you a release date or anything, but we're getting close to the end. Yeah, no, it was for a lot of people. I think that's how the majority of people have gotten into the game, to be honest. Hate the naming, but the spider. Imagine rifling through slimy, bloody, salty trash to find crafting materials, which is what I keep having to do in this game. Those updates that I've been doing have gotten really gratifying to make just because I have people quite literally thanking me on a weekly basis for making them and talking about how much they appreciate it. And it's, I don't know, it's weird to actually have like a show on YouTube that a number of people that I can't really comprehend enjoy. Oh my god, that's a bear. It's a web-toed bear, actually. Only the familiar nursery rhyme courses through your brain. The grizzly bear is huge and wild. It devoured an infant child. The infant child is unaware. It has been eaten by the bear. Cyberpunk needs more slimy, bloody rifle trash to rifle through. I think they already have plenty of that stuff, frankly. I don't actually know how much damage this bear is going to do to me. This is going to give me a pretty... I'm actually healing fighting against it. That hurt. I was healing up against it. How much? 110. Don't need to find too much more copper wire. There was supposed to be an underground area in Cyberpunk? I don't know. I played so little I'm aware of so little of Cyberpunk. I shouldn't judge it or say anything bad about it because I just literally never played it. Crab died to bleeding. Giant amoeba dies. Sit here and heal. What the fuck is that? Wet, grassy Yermat. Huh. Gives you extra DV for standing in the same tile as it. That's interesting. I'm just imagining a build where you carry that around and throw it on the ground. Yeah. I'm sort of expecting the same thing to happen to Starfield. But we'll see. It's a good thing they delayed it again. No! My bronze longsword rusted. Let's go to my left hand. Grab another dagger. You never liked playing without Dwarf Therapist or tile sets, so the new pack made your life easy for a while before you had to manually get DF hack, etc. working? Ah, that's fair. You know, like, the thing that people need to remember is that a lot of people when they're in my chat, and this is kind of at what Zacho said, but also kind of at what Panderific said, is that I don't use those things, and there's some people who seem to think that because of that, I'm vehemently against other people using them. I am not in the slightest. Like, if there's a tool or like assist thing that makes the game easier for you to play, fucking use it. I ain't gonna judge you for that. But some people seem to think that like, just because I don't use those tools myself, that I'm anti-using them. Couldn't be further from the case. stand here. Wait to heal. Good lord, there's so much acid in this thing. I might actually have to go into the next rust well because of how much crap is down here. There's just no copper wire. I like seeing you play without them because it is educational even if you use the extra tools. No, totally. But it does certainly feel that way. It was fun for what it is. Yeah. I know that Cyberpunk disappointed a lot of people. Although, like, people seem to be coming around on it slowly. Like, in a few years, I think people will have forgotten about how bad the launch for Cyberpunk was. For better or for worse, you know? Okay. I now have 161 feet. There we go. I now have enough feet. I do not need to go to another location. Pick up whatever the fuck that thing is. Let's just head out. There's nothing really down here for me. Enemies that don't really give me much XP. And water that wants to rust all of my gear. It's just a very visceral experience. Gotta overlook some things. You know, honestly, somebody said in my chat, if Cyberpunk was not an overhyped game and was a $50 Eurojank release from a scrappy studio of like, I don't know, 80, 90 developers, it would be an instant classic and everybody would fucking love it. But because it was a 10-year-long hype cycle practically for a game that didn't pay off, it was devastatingly disappointing. You know what I mean? Let's go speak with Argvi. Like, you know, a good example is like, has anybody here played I Divine Cybermancy? Game's fucking terrible. But the fact that it's cheap as shit, it's like $10 usually, and it was made by like 8 dudes in France that don't speak English, and they made a game in English, which is why the writing is so weird. It's like, if that was like a $60 release, mostly negative reviews, nobody would talk about it. But because it's like tiny ass team that made a weird thing that barely works, that is super fucking fun if you play it a bunch, it's fantastic. I mean, of course it's art. It has multiple penises that you can select and they clip through your clothing. Of course it's art. Unless you're talking about I Divine Cybermancy, in which case, yes, very much art. The wire. Give it to me. Ah, yes, yes. Beautiful wire. Oh, before I forget or cease to care, I repaired your old recoiler for you. You can use it whenever you wish to return to Yappa quickly. Now give me a few minutes to attach the wire. Yes, I Divine Cybermancy is a game that has quite literally the best. Speaking of, so I'm talking about I Divine Cybermancy being great. I Divine Cybermancy is $3 right now. You can buy I Divine Cybermancy on Steam for $3. $3. Who doesn't have $3? I should stream some I Divine Cybermancy and like set up a server for it and then just get like a bunch of us in there. Fucking hell. Yeah, dude, this game is $3. It's $3. $3. $3. Fucking $3. That's ridiculous. It's like all the recent roguelike survival games that came out at $3 to $5 and then explode. If they came out at like $10, no one would have played. So, as an asshole, none of those games are roguelikes. They're arcade shmups. And calling them roguelikes is a disservice to this, which is a roguelike. So don't call them roguelikes, for one thing. But yes, if they were priced at like $4, they wouldn't have blown up. The only reason Vampire Survivors has done well is because it's cheap. It's chicken shit. And it's also a garbage game. I fucking hate that game. I think it's really bad, but I understand why people like it. Don't call it a roguelite. They're not even rogue games. Dude, they're arcade games. There's nothing even remotely similar. Nothing is randomly generated. They're literally like a wave defense game. They have more in common with tower defense games than roguelikes. Don't call them that. And it's fucking wrong. It makes me viscerally angry that people call those roguelikes. Or even roguelite. It's... like, I won't get mad at you if you call them roguelites, but don't. People think that a game... So, Demon Firebrand, what's funny is if you call Vampire Survivors, let's just say, a roguelike, then you have to call PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite roguelikes, because they have about the same amount in common. As in, randomly scattered loot around a map, and when you die, you lose it all. Don't call them roguelikes, because all it does is it continues to propel the use of roguelike as a marketing term for hard games, which is fucking moronic. Like, don't do it. Ah. It's like calling XCOM a real-time strategy game. Don't do it. But anyway. That's fine. I find Vampire Survivors to be really boring. That's like my big issue with Vampire Survivors is I just think it's boring. Aside from that, it's totally fine. No. No. So here's the thing. This is me talking. I am not everybody, okay? So maybe don't listen to me. Just listen to what I have to say and you make your own decision. In order for a game to be a roguelike, it has to be like Rogue, right? For a game to be a roguelite, it has to be almost exactly like Rogue, but maybe like you've tweaked a mechanic. So like I would call Binding of Isaac a roguelite. The only thing about it that isn't like Rogue is the fact that it has meta progression and it's real time. Everything else about it is like Rogue. Vampire Survivors has more in common with fucking Ikaruga than anything called a roguelike. I love Risk of Rain 2, but I wouldn't call that a roguelite because the maps aren't randomly generated. They're pre-designed maps. In order for it to be like Rogue, you have to have randomly generated maps, no meta progression, and it purely be skill-based. If you remove any of those things, you're so far disconnected from Rogue, it's like calling Gears of War a Doom clone. Yeah, you shoot things with guns, but that's where the similarities end. It's ridiculous. Stop it. This is a roguelike. So, there's a lot of people that have kind of given up on that set of arguments, and I get it. It's kind of a losing battle. But this is my platform, and this is the hill I die on. I'm being, like, only semi-serious. You know, it's like... To me, the original game, like Vampire Survivors, is Crimson Land. If you've never played Crimson Land, it's currently $2. Crimson Land is a top-down twin-stick shooter that has progressively stronger waves. There are some automated attacks, but the majority of them you aim. And every single attack you have combos into your abilities and makes the shots that you fire crazier and crazier and crazier. This is a fucking arcade top-down shoot 'em up. Exactly like 20 Minutes Till Dawn. Exactly like Vampire Survivors. I really like 20 Minutes Till Dawn. I think this game's great. So, just remember, by calling things roguelikes or roguelites that aren't even remotely similar to Rogue, all you're doing is assisting mainstream marketing with diluting the term roguelike and promoting them to people who've never even played roguelikes. We need a new name for those games, which is why I call them run-based games. Like, Hades isn't a roguelike. Hades is a game that's designed for you to beat, and you gain power as you do runs, and you earn story, and you unlock stuff. It's a run-based action game. You go on a run, you die, you go on another run, you die. There's nothing like Rogue in Hades. Hades is a phenomenal game, but it's nothing like Rogue. So calling it a roguelike is doing roguelikes a disservice and doing Hades a disservice because it's a bad descriptor. That's my passion. And broke the game? How so? Like, just like you stood still and won? I need to play more 20 Minutes Till Dawn. That game's fun. Like, I like these games, and I like games that take a few ideas from these types of games. It just hurts me when people miscategorize them so poorly. I need to take a piss. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Yeah, sounds like what the an endless mode in that game should be. That's kind of fantastic. All right. Raft, a Minecraft clone? Well, I mean, you can't spell raft without Minecraft, so I can totally see where they're coming from. All right, what was I gonna do? Right, yeah, I need to speak with our guy again. It's working! Genius! They said it can be done! They said I was mad! They said that... What is this? Huh? What is that? It's repeating itself. Argvi mumbles for several minutes. Apprentice, come here. Something very strange has happened. The conduit is picking up a signal, some sort of repeating transmission. I cannot decipher it. However, I lack the crypto gull, eggs, and, well, never mind. I have a great task for you, my apprentice. Do you accept it? Tell me what it is first. Very well. You must seek out the Bratham of old. He is the eldest and the wisest tinker alive. He lives with his followers, the Barathmites, in the cavern called Grit Gate, to the northeast, amongst the ruins of Cud. He will know what to make of the signal. Who are the Barathmites? They're the disciples of old Baratham. They are Unishib, and like their mentor, mutant albino cave bears, with quills to boot. 1,000 years ago, Baratham and his kin crossed the Homas Delta into the heart of Cud, and he spent centuries fiddling with the tokens of antiquity in his underground workshops. If he can't decipher the signal, no one can. I accept your task. Farewell, basically. Splendid. I've recorded the signal onto a disc, and you'll need to guard it with your life, I'm afraid. Also, I'll need to rig up a droid scrambler for you. The Barathamites have programmed several way droids to guard the approach to Grit Gate. With the scrambler, you'll have no need to worry about them. Wait there. Argvi mumbles to himself for several minutes. There you go. Now off with you. Live long enough to do my bidding. Away. So you take the glare skill tree and reduce the cast time to double its damage over and over again? Yeah, I could see that. I really wish that... So, literally every single time I get the opportunity to speak with a developer that is developing a run-based game, and they refer to it as a roguelite, I try and have a very polite conversation with them and just say, listen, the term that you're looking for is run-based. It literally describes what the mechanic... Because, like, when it comes to most games that call themselves roguelikes that aren't, literally the only mechanic they take from Rogue... the vast majority of the time, sometimes they'll also have random levels, but vast majority of the time, it's the act of going on a run. That's it. And if that is the only mechanic you take, if it's not a turn-based game, if it's not a grid-based game, if it's not a randomly generated game with no meta progression, and the only mechanic you take is run-based, just call it a run-based game. It's the same number of syllables as roguelike. Why is that not marketable? I don't know. So, off to Grit Gate with us, which is, for reference, right here. Actually, hold up. 106. Oh shit! I can buy a new mutation. Sure, you want to spend 4 mutation points to buy a new mutation? Yes. Mass Mind, Clairvoyance, or Siphon Vim. Fuck, I don't want any of those. But I can't back out. Need one of them. Tap into the aggregates and steal power from other espers. You briefly gain vision of a nearby area. You know what? Well, let's go with Clairvoyance, I think. You don't remember the last 4 hours? Well, you just left to go cuddle. You napped at one point. So, see, this is like the actual reason why I'm so annoyed by people misusing the term roguelike, right? I'm gonna go to Caves of Cud on Steam, right? I'm gonna go to the roguelike tag on Steam. This is the roguelike tag on Steam. FTL is not a roguelike. It's a run-based strategy game. Terminus is a roguelike. Shoutouts. Risk of Rain 2 is not a roguelike. It's not. It claims to be, but the only mechanic it's got is run-based. Hades isn't a roguelike. Binding of Isaac kind of is a roguelike. Binding of Isaac is one of the few examples of, like, roguelite I can see that being used. This isn't even a run-based game. There is a mode that's sort of a run-based game, but this isn't even a run-based game. This is about as far... This is not even remotely close. Sorry, Dead Cells is not a roguelike. It's a run-based platformer. Rogue Legacy 2 is a run-based platformer. Darkest Dungeon is a fucking like, not even permadeath dungeon crawler. Slay the Spire is a card game, a deck builder, not a roguelike. Peglin... I don't even... That's just bad. It's a bad game. Gunfire Reborn is a, like, horde mode shooter with some run-based elements. Don't Starve is a survival game. I don't even know what this is, so I can't begin to... I don't know what Warm Snow is. Isn't that, like, an action run-based thing? Okay. This is, like, just a strategy game. New and trending. Not a roguelike. I could see the argument to be made for Shotgun King. Cool little game. I like that game. But again, doesn't have randomly generated levels. It's sort of a roguelike. Roguelite, if you will, for that one. I don't even... None of these are roguelikes. The only one here is Terminus, and that's because it's on my wish list. That's why I'm so annoyed by this. It's because literally nothing there is a roguelike. Some of them have elements of roguelikes, but they're not. Oh, I'm not saying they're, to be clear, not saying they're bad games. Vast majority of those are great games. But that should be a directory full of turn-based games like this. So, that's why it bothers me. So, now we're kind of in an area that actually is at level with us. So these doors, I can just walk through them. Normally I would need key cards to get through them, but I can walk through them because I have psychometry. So we need to go down a few floors. Actually, let's just pop out here. I'm just going to jump over to the tinkering screen. Oh, can't do it with hostiles nearby. I now have some shotgun shells, and I reloaded my shotgun. Okay. So these robots are friendly because of the item I have in my inventory that the quest giver gave me. Normally they would not be friendly. Because at this point, roguelike has become a marketable term that has become accepted for the style of game, kind of like how literally used to be accepted to mean figuratively. Yes. I mean, it's to the point where, like, XCOM style strategy games say that they have a roguelike mode instead of saying that they have an Iron Man mode, which is ridiculous. Let's just let these guys deal with things. Also, hey, Merc, long time. It's good to see you, mate. Hope you've been hanging in there. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't agree with it and won't accept it. Like I said, this is the hill that I die on. I've chosen to die on this hill for a while, and I'm going to continue to die on this hill. If people want to disagree with me, that's fine, but it'll just make me kind of sad. You know what I mean? I don't like getting lost. I wish you would stop killing those droids, but okay. Happy to see Cud and Monkey Slayer. Well, death by monkey. Although we actually haven't died to monkeys today, so that's good. Let's just head down. This is a very easy exit, I would say. I think I just head north. You've finished a step in locate the Barathumite enclave and the quest for the Canticle for Barathum. Oh. An amoeba followed me. And my phone's vibrating. Why is that? Shot at you. Yeah, but like I said, the reason I'm discussing this is because I will argue this to death. And whenever people in my chat, you know, comment against it, I will do my best to educate. And I will just continue doing that for basically all eternity. It is my hill to die on. We all need a stupid hill to die on, and that's just mine. And if that annoys you, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Whenever people refer to games as roguelikes, just politely remind them that call it run-based, because that makes more sense. And it does. We started calling first-person shooters instead of Doom clones for a reason. A Doom clone looks like Doom. Every now and again, somebody makes a Doom clone. Well, Doom clone, Doom-like, Doom-wad, whatever. Your hill is even more fun? What's your hill? Voice transmitting through panel. Begone, Wayfarer. This is no place for you. So I can say, I come by the way of Yappa. The elder Uridad calls me friend. Enter then, traveler. Interesting. Didn't realize that you could do that. Wait! My name is Shwyshur. I bring a message from Garvai of Yappa. I didn't realize that you could get in that way. A slot opens in the center of the door and on a metal tray, and we place the disc in the tray. Several minutes passed. It seems that you are indeed Argvai's apprentice. He wishes you to study with us. Unfortunately, we require more than just a willing spirit. Cud is not Yappa. You will need to prove your worth. You might not waste our time and efforts. Travel to the great cavern Golgotha to the north. Within its halls, you will find a cache of dysfunctional way droids. Recover one and repair it and return here. If we are satisfied with your work, you will be admitted to our order. Otherwise, you will not be. Do you accept this arrangement? Yes. So that is such a hill. I don't even know what that means. So please, do elaborate. Tell me more. I would love to know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Every now and again, I feel like I'm not smart enough to just like understand what you guys are trying to talk about. All right, well, we finished part 1 of this quest. I need honey. That's the problem. Welcome to Great Gate, traveler. Care to enhance the quality of your stay with a wise purchase? The alphabet isn't sorted in any order and doesn't need to be. I mean, but it makes singing the song a lot easier to remember. But yeah, that's a perfectly logical statement to make, I would say. But, you know, whenever there's a hill to die on, there's a dumber hill to die on. I've talked about this on stream a couple of times over the past week or in the past 2 days, just because I just got back from a vacation. And while I was on vacation, I spent time with my little sister and her partner. And my little sister's partner, he is a full-time contract opera singer. And hearing him complain about fixed dough versus floating dough in music theory reminds me of how I sound when I talk about roguelike versus run-based game genres. Which, by the way, is the difference between how English-speaking people talk about music theory and French-speaking people talk about music theory. One is clusterfuckian and unnecessarily complicated, and the other just works. It's like the difference between imperial and metric. But it's going good, Bob. How is you? Do we have to go to Golgotha? Yes, we do have to go to Golgotha. But I've been tasked to go to Golgotha. My condolences on your sense of smell, friend. It is an execrable place in more ways than one. I would advise you to not visit without a healthy stock of yuckweed and honey. If you can cook a meal with yuckweed, it may banish a disease before it comes into its own. Bring salves or herberries too, and mind your feet in the cloaca. What wares do you sell? All right. Let's just trade. Grab that herberry if I can. I don't actually think I can. Yes, it is indeed intended to be gross. What is this place? I mean, this game literally has body horror in it. Like, verbal body horror describing mushrooms that take the format of mouths that drool and speak to you. This game has a lot of very gross language in it, and it's intended to be. But areas that are beautiful are genuinely beautiful and incredibly well written. But the nice thing is because it's all verbal, it's all like in text. You don't actually have to look at the disgusting pictures. So if things are too gross, you can just skip them. There's nowhere like Great Gate in the whole of Cud, friend. I've journeyed my comparatively short time, but I always return here. The very air buzzes with knowledge, as well as quite a few other things. What kind of creature are you? We are called Ushrib, friend. Our kind are smarter than the average bear and sharper too, and a bit more handy. All right, so there is something I do need to buy from this person. Buy a small stone. I think this will do. I don't need to identify it. Two copper nuggets. But yeah, no, this game, pretty bluntly, is full of body horror, so. 92 drams. All right. So I now have a small stone, which I can... It's a Grit Gate recoiler. It'll take me back. Take me back to the Grit Gate City, where the grass is green and the bears are pretty. Blame your brain for drawing disgusting pictures that are too gross. Got it. Yeah, exactly. Or just, like, learn to enjoy gross things. Lead slugs. For nugget. On two-handed sword. All right. That was a pretty good shotgun shot. Killed all three. Wait, Vey. Let's just back up a little bit. The problem is I'm pretty weak right now. Not entirely certain I can make it through Golgotha. I can try, but currently I don't think I'd win. Expect steel gauntlets and a glow sphere. Glow sphere is useless to me. All right, made it back out. So I need ruins. Explore them briefly. The Hatara Polygon. On an inkweed. It's full of mushrooms. And giant spiders. Get out of there. That area seems dangerous. Some more ruins. We'll explore them briefly. There's a cooking stuff store right here. Don't have what I need, though. We do have honey. Oh, I didn't see a beekeeper anywhere, which is a bit annoying. Actually, hold up. How many grenades can I make? Quite a few. Turns out, grenades sell pretty decently. So I need to level up once, or maybe twice even. Because... Also, if it seems like I'm ignoring you guys, I'm not. I just have no idea what you're talking about. So just, like, keep that in mind. How do I charge chem cells? if that's good enough to activate it, but... Cider and honey. I need yuckweed. Looking for cooking ingredients. Because there is a potion that you need to make in order to not get sick with a disease that makes your tongue rot out of your mouth. Quite literally. And in order to not get sick with that disease, it's got the high intensity inventory management thing. It's not that, I wouldn't call it high intensity. It's pretty reasonable, actually. I mean, I can carry up to 300 pounds. I mean, it's got a pretty in-depth crafting system, but I wouldn't say it's that crazy. I've played games with much more ridiculous, menu systems than CUD. Really? You don't have any yuckweed? The fuck kind of shitty town is this? Oh, hey, I discovered a village. Ooh. Must be a flying village, too. It's full of intelligent flying creatures. This has a scene from the life of the ancient Sultan Yxerdates. On the anniversary of the Great Battle, a babe was found swaddled with blocks of ice on its eyes. A group of fungi and quill-worshipping autocracy of Sesh and took it into their fold and fostered her. She became known as Irdexes, the glacial seed of fungi. I think that you win with the dumbest hill to die on, though. Vanderific. A narrative is confined and etched in the boundaries of stone. This is history from this village. Since the first feast of the dismembered serf, the villagers of Merv have joyfully feasted on Manom's bugs. So they like to feast on Manom's bugs. The love of children of Manom have revealed to the people of Merva through the contemplation of the art of speech and song. Okay, so they like speech and song and eating bugs, basically. And I keep getting stuck in asphalt. It's a very spiky town. White Powder and the Decades. Uh-huh. That's the name of a book. I'm famished. Okay, well. No longer famished. Rather than the number that represents it. So your issue is more with the naming convention than less with the numbers themselves? If I'm understanding that correctly? Alright, so there's a sage, and there's a dromad merchant, and there's a warden that's a horse. Cool. Interesting. Why do they sell Grit Gate recoilers? Huh. Interesting. They also sell carbide daggers, which I would really like, but... let's talk with the sage, which is this person. Welcome to the village of Merva, friend. I like how their icon isn't the flying creature, it's the arrow indicating that the creature is flying. So instead of having like the icon being the creature itself, it's just the, you can't see the creature because it's one level up. That's kind of funny. Welcome to the village of Merva, friend. We are a clan who pay homage to the children of Manom and detest the profanity towards the children of Manom. Come what you may drink of our fresh water and quench your thirst. Let's see, who likes you? You're disliked by the villagers of Igad for reprogramming their favorite robot, disliked by the villagers of Igad for digging up the remains of their ancestors, and hated by the consortium of Phaidum for a reason no one remembers, but loved by villagers of Merva and birds. That's actually really funny. Why do you hate him? I don't know. Nobody can remember. It's fine. We don't worry about it. I think like when it comes to me and the numbering system that we have, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And last I checked, it wasn't broke, but clearly for you it is. So I respect your platform, and I completely understand why it's your hill to die on. I think everybody kind of needs a hill to die on. It gives you the will to live. As long as it's not like the earth is flat or something. As long as it's like a relatively logical, harmless thing. Define flat? Not bumpy. How's that as a definition of flat? Sorry, I'm just looking at YouTube comments currently. Got distracted. All right, done being distracted. All right, you. I'm looking for work. Live and drink, drifter. My clan would spend our days hissing at the water beetle moon, but after becoming acquainted with the virtue of the children of Manom, we changed our priorities and imagined new rights. May brain mites take us. Oh, sorry. May brain mites take us. The devil of fate has separated us from our flamebeard gland paste of the childrenic stratagem. Would you be willing to recover it for us? I hear it has been taken to Cormuk. We will reward you for your service. If I can get there, sure. Where the heck is that? Alright, caravan. Cormuk. Where? It's lock. I think that it would just... Oh, it's right there. Sweet. Found some ruins first. Ew. Guys with guns. Just walk away. Welcome back, Magna. Hopefully cut is chill enough. Oh, shit. All right, so I need to find some gland paste, which is in here somewhere. So they're asking me to heist some cooking materials from a different village. There's a painted torch, Karamuk. In 506, the chain gun turrets. Chat, this is a town inhabited by sentient guns. I think we just found America. In 506 AR, of course AR, a chain gun turret settled in Karamuk, unseating the Voider colonists and imposing statues that prohibited the contemplation of burrows. Hell yeah, brother! Absolutely. Sentient assault rifles, let's fucking go. Strange painted furniture, a puzzling artifact. In 486 AR, Voiders settled in Karamuk, unseating the mayor of the imposing ordinances in protection of profaning insect larvae. Okay, so insects settled here, and then the guns showed up and took over. Of course they did. Fucking of course they did. And then we're just gonna auto-explore the rest of this town. It's amazing how much lore you can derive from just like a tiny little bit of flavor text, you know? So insects took over the original mayor of this town because the original mayor was profaning insect larvae, so they took over, and then the sentient guns showed up and finished taking over. I'm gonna have to do some tricky things to get around this town. Also have an attribute point I should put away. I'm gonna put it into intelligence. All right, so need this gland paste stuff. Flamebeard gland paste. Need a container or something. 2 containers right there. The problem is it's surrounded by guns. Furniture, painted weapon rack. It's probably in that painted chest. I'm going to assume it's in that painted chest. So I'm going to turn my bubble on. I'm going to open this chest. It's Electrobo. Well, it's not what I thought it was. The result is now they're all mad at me. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to move 1 town over, go down. Oh, that's not an optimal place to be. Jump back up and re-enter the town. One of these days they will fix this exploit. So now I gotta look around. I didn't even take the Electrobow. That's the irony. Could also be in somebody's inventory. Could also be in this chest over here. Nope. See, did they see that? Nope. Okay. Could also be in this chest, which we'll check next. This one's still about to fire, even though... Ah, well, it's a lacquered steel longsword, but not what I needed. Bottle of wine. Bottle of wine. Bottle of wine. Bottle of wine. Trade. Salamander has nothing to trade. Well, there's a bunch of things down there I can fight with, but really want to. Chat with the turret, trade with the turret. You've got a bajillion lead slugs. This horned chameleon has a different quest for me. Okay. Ah, you have it. The Flamebeard Gland Paste. So I don't actually need to steal anything. I can just trade for it, which is nice. Sell the high capacity cell. And the Lover's Blossom. That'll do her. And there we go. We now have the Gland Paste. Means I can return to this. Go back to the Sage and sell them their Gland Paste. Or give them their Gland Paste to finish the quest. I found your Flamebeard Gland Paste of the Childranic Stratagem. Our thanks, friend. Our village owes you a debt, but for now, please choose a reward from our stockpile as payment for your service. They take it from me, I get 1,000 XP. And, I can take a salve injector and a solar... I'm going to take the solar cell, I think. Yeah. A good amount of XP, actually. Which means I can swap out the Grit Gate Recoiler. Did I... Oh, I see. Probably because... Yeah, they're considered unknown artifacts. Equip that. Going to go down to the... Where is it? There it is. The solar cell, which is full. I'm going to read early history and learn how to make it. And then put it into the recoiler. You used to have a crackpot theory that life is just one of those choose your own adventure things. We have choice moments. I mean, you're not wrong. It's just a very constant, frequent choose your own adventure. I'm gonna just sell some stuff to this. I've been like traveling way too much. Let's sell you those Boomrose arrow. That. This old chem cell. All of the Quedzu stems. There we go. I now have a bunch of water. All right. Still need yuckweed. I'm gonna go to that town that was down. I'm lost. No longer lost. A bad place to pop into. Oh, right. Yeah, this isn't a town. This is a... weird abandoned zone, which I will clear. Also got a bunch of books in it. Siltopper. These are one of those early run enders if you're not careful. Siltoppers are one of those things that can kill you ridiculously quickly if you're not paying attention. They just do a lot of burst damage. But I need to level up one more time, so... Take these books. I cleared this zone, and these books should be enough to get me leveled. Areas with a lot of books are generally really good for quick leveling. Because I can take these back to the Silt and just trade them into the librarian for levels. you so fucking strong? I'm famished, apparently. Let's just throw a grenade at him. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this the easy way. Oh, no, I don't actually have anything I can just manually eat. Well. Oh, there it is. Equip that. Well, that leveled us up. Problem is I'm famished, so I do still need food. Let's just kill this thing. Oh. The funny thing about the amoebas is they have the heart icon whenever they see you, which means they're quite literally in love with you. There we go. No longer famished. Still need Yakui before we can move forward. All right. Let's head back up to here. Going to go donate those new books that I just got. Our friend Shiba. That gives me a bunch more food. All right, let's go to the Dromad Caravan. Do you have... Yakwit? No, you don't. Cooking and gathering. Meal prep. Cool. That's what we needed. So I need Yakwit is what I need. Let's wait until morning. It's a damn shame that there's no Yakwit around. You've got a Taco Suprema. One of the most delicious foodstuffs in the game. Let's try here. The governor is a fucking turret. It's just too goddamn funny. Of course, all he has to sell is lead slugs. So I have to speak to a turret, which is... Or no, I have to speak with the legendary horned chameleon here. I'm looking for work. Wanderer, we've been poring over our records and we learned about a nearby location forgotten to our people. Amber Star Hatarica. What secrets might this place contain? Warm rocks? A shrine to the chain gun turret colonists? We must know. They really want warm rocks. If you find it for us, we will pay you for your work. Will you? Well, we hear it's located next to the Ebony Annulus Urok. I think I already found that. I mean, is it not the silver Hatara? Oh, the Amber Star Hatara. I don't know, all these sound the same to me. Oh. Well, there's the legendary gem cutter. Discovered so many random locations now. Having a hard time keeping them straight in my head. Dinner happened? No, that's all good. Poofing is something that people do frequently. You gotta poof, you gotta poof. I'm just glad that you've picked today to swing by. It's an interesting location. Ah, nothing interesting. All right, well, let's go to the legendary gem cutter, because that's another quest. Some more ruins nearby. Sure, I will come back later. Is today a particularly good day? Well, I know. I mean, I'm playing CUD, so people tuning in to watch me play CUD is cool, because CUD isn't, you know, a game that I stream super frequently. Wait, who hurt? So just having people tune in for CUD is just really nice. Period. You know, Worm may or may not rock. I haven't heard any pieces that Worm has played recently in concert, but I will hopefully find them some Worm rocks, though. But I can't confirm or deny whether or not Worm rocks. They might be like blue Jello, you know, and just not really rock. Let's dive into here. I always miss having people to talk with, so. Although, admittedly, part of the reason it's been a while is because I did go on vacation for it. But, you know, we back. Ow! I just got impaled on a random-ass spike. Something made a wall. Carbide hammer, iron buckler, basic toolkit, and a canteen. And some trash. Just stealing this guy's stuff, you know. Legendary gem cutter. Which also has multiple meter long centipedes in it. So this might be a good home base feature. Well, I think that something. Put a hole in the wall. That's weird. Oh, there you are. Hated by the denizens of Yid Freehold for depicting them unfavorably in figurine form. Hated by the urchins, depicting them unfavorably in a You're even hated by dogs? Man, okay, so I'm gonna kill this guy because I want, the things that hate him to like me. So I'm killing him, not because it's personal. Killing him for I'm killing him for financial gain, I guess. But I also need to be very careful about this. It is pretty tough. Also, he's hitting pretty hard. Let's take another Witchwood Bark, and I forget where Brain think. No! I thought that would push him back. Well, so much for that. Let's sigh. How's the second run going? Well, that answers that question, Tay. Apologies. I could have killed him. I had more than enough healing materials. I just thought that I would push him away by moving forward with that to, like, peer around the corner. Okay, I'm out. Good night. Good night, Wilbur. You have a good one. Man. Well. It was fun. We're going to have to play more Cut this week, I think. It was a legendary gem cutter? Yeah, but they're not that strong. They're about as strong as, like, an average, like, just dude with weapons. But you never really know what guns they have. Actually, the... Hold on, what killed me? Yeah, he hit me ×5 for 12 damage with her steel utility knife. So she dazed me and then hit me ×5, basically. On that world, the world is randomly generated every time. If you want, when you make a new run, you can play Classic, which is just normal permadeath. You lose the world and the character when you die. Everything's gone when you die. You can play role-playing, which allows you to save and checkpoint at settlement. It allows you to save and checkpoint at settlements. Then there's Wander, which just lets you... most creatures begin neutral to you. No XP for killing. More XP for discoveries and performing the water ritual and checkpointing at settlements. And then there's dailies. So, no, the world is always random. You always start the world from the beginning. But I think that's enough CUD for one stream. I mean, we just did like 7 hours of CUD. If there's interest, I'll do CUD again tomorrow. I think I'm going to start the stream off tomorrow, actually, with a sponsored segment. Because I have a sponsor segment right now for Marbles on stream. So we're going to play Marbles and listen to records for the first hour of the stream. That's how we're going to start the stream tomorrow. Because fuck it. That being